Now, the host you've been waiting all day for, live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant good afternoon to you. I'm laughing because I dislodged the camera. I apologize. We'll fix that in just a second. But good afternoon. This is the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, where we're streaming live at kernradio.com. We've got another busy broadcast and the week coming up at the bottom of the hour. It's a Friday. KGET entertainment reporter Rick Bentley joins us. And there's all kind of things to talk about. Carmelo Anthony is closer to getting an appeal and a new trial. But now that we know more about Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf, I think the facts are even worse for the young man down in McKinney, Texas. We'll delve into that. Eric Swalwell is going to prison. The man who would be governor is going to prison. We will delve into that story. Did you see that he was picked up at the San Francisco airport? That's humiliating. You're like, la, 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 do. Try, everybody's happy in an airport. You're going somewhere or you're coming home. Everybody's happy. Do. And, excuse me, Mr. Swalwell? Yes. Would you like an autograph? Would you like to take a picture? No, sir. We're with the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Womp, womp, womp. He going to prison. And now we know, and you should have seen Kevin McCarthy. Oh, if you run into Kevin McCarthy, he's busy patting himself on the back because it was, in fact, Kevin McCarthy who identified that Eric Swalwell was, he didn't identify, he didn't break the story, but he made it public because he was head of the a committee that he kicked Eric Swalwell off because of his relations with a Chinese spy named Fang Fang. I'm not making that up. Go look it up. Her name was Fang Fang. And now it appears he's conceded that, and he's facing charges of sexual harassment, sexual misconduct by several women. You'll hear from one, Lana Drews, who said he raped me and he choked me to unconsciousness. He going to prison. The man who would be governor going to prison. I'm sorry, that's not right for me to find joy in another man's misery, but he's just a despicable, god-awful human being. And we always knew it. And that's why Fox had McCarthy on. That's why McCarthy's running around patting himself on the back, because he was one of the few. And, in the interview that he did on Fox this morning, he couldn't help himself. It's a difficult question, really difficult question, Chris. But who do you think he dragged into this conversation?
Donald?
No. He's still sucking on the big toe. Are you kidding? Think about his past. Who gave him trouble the week that he tried to become speaker?
Oh, I'm sorry, but I thought we were talking about something else. Well, you?
Me? Bye, Lisa. Our associate producer passing by. Come on, think about it. Who was the biggest cause of him not being speaker for like a week?
Not being speaker for either Pelosi or AOC.
Matt Gaetz.
Oh, that's right.
He dragged him into the conversation, and he said, "This is how he did it. It was brilliant. Kevin's good. You got to give it to him. He's very, very, very good." Just as I predicted Fang Fang with Eric Swalwell, I predicted Matt Gaetz. That's why I kicked him out. That's what that was all about. That's why I wasn't speaker, because Gaetz was mad because I kicked him out because I knew he was having sex with teenagers. I was one of the first that said it. Just saying. I know it's got nothing to do with it, but anytime I can get in a Matt Gaetz kidney shot, I'm going to do it.
I totally forgot about
that. Oh, it was brilliant. It was brilliant. Just seamless. Oh, and by the way, by the by, he's good. Take this picture, Matt. Cost me the damn speakership. 5 days I sat in that house waiting for your damn vote, you no good piece of. Sorry. I'm sorry. What else is going on? And Annette Lundquist. Annette Lundquist, are you sure? Annette Lundquist is going to join us. It's not the two of them this time.
No,
just
sorry.
Annette. Are they both coming?
No, it's just one, but that's why. No, it's Elaine.
Oh, it's Elaine. They're twins. Not really, but they normally
Elaine
come
Sloan
together.
Will be the one doing it.
Elaine Sloan is joining us. All right.
Annette is going to be the one that's on vacation.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, they've got the Greek Festival coming up, and they've got a special guest coming that Elaine will tell you all about. Plus, the Dodgers taking on the Pirates tonight. They return home after sweeping Colorado. Yoshinobu Yamamoto takes the bump, 12-7 with a 2.6 ERA, and he's got 134 strikeouts and 32 walks. But it doesn't appear, Mr. Burdick, despite my predictions, that anyone on the Dodger staff is going to win the Cy Young.
Unfortunate.
It appears that Mr. Miz is going to walk away with it. I think that's
it's too good.
But how long can he throw 103? Like to Shohei, he struck Shohei out on 5 pitches, and all of them were above 100 miles an hour. How long can he do that?
You're right. And again, eventually that's going to come back to bite him, but you could say the same thing about Paul Skeens.
And I was just going to use that as an example. Look at Skeens. He's struggling, and he hasn't thrown over 100, and I can't remember when. He is in deep doo-doo. I don't know if he's physically hurt, but that's the big story out of Pittsburgh, that he's in the mid-90s. He hasn't come within 100 in like several outings. I just don't think you can throw that consistently, 103, 104, 105. If you look at, Sandy Koufax, quit when he was 30, 31, 32 at the most. And if you look at Sandy Koufax, and if you look at Nolan Ryan, and you look at those guys that consistently threw over 100, they also had a curveball. Nolan Ryan had a wicked 12-6 curveball that make you look like an idiot. So did Sandy. So did Clayton. So did a lot of guys. I just don't think you can do 3, 5, 6 years throwing 100 miles an hour anymore. I just don't. I really don't. But we'll see what happens as the Pirates roll into town. And a big day for Donald Trump and his ballroom, at least temporarily. His Supreme Court has decided to allow him to continue to build the ballroom, at least until they figure out the legality of it. A lower court said it was absolutely illegal. Please stand by. You know who this is, don't you? The last thing we were talking about before JR left the room. Oh, no. It's Lisa. It's the associate producer. Sorry. No Chris Burdick on the broadcast. Thank you, Lisa. Yeah, they're going to allow him because the ballroom is 65% built. They're going to allow him to finish it while they figure out the legality. As I was about to say, 2 lower courts determined that it was not legal, that it had to come from Congress and not the president. But, I don't agree with him, but he's our guy, so I put up with it. But Trump is the master, and maybe this is going to become the precedent, Precedent, for the president, President, that you just do whatever the hell you want and see if they slap you down. What's the phrase, Chris? It's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission. That's the Trump playbook, Jack. Let's just do it. Then we'll take it to court. The lower courts will slap us down, and Amy and the boys will come through for us, and that's exactly what's happening. Now, whether or not they're going to ultimately determine that it's legal, but by the time they make a determination, the damn thing will be built. And then what is the day? Let's say that Josh Shapiro gets elected in 28. What are you going to do, knock it down? We'll get into that at some point. All right, let's go ahead and take our first break, but we come back. We'll start with our lead story of the day. The triple murder trial of Lindsay Clancy is starting to wind down. The defense has rested, and the prosecution presented their rebuttal witnesses today. Probably closing arguments Monday, maybe Tuesday, but the jury will definitely get this case sometime next week. And just to show you the difference, our associate producer, Lisa, lovely Lisa, absolutely thinks she should go to prison. Meantime, your host thinks she's absolutely going to be institutionalized. We'll talk about that. We'll bring up the Andrea Yates case as well. Remember her? The mother who drowned 5 of her children? Just saying, she didn't go to prison either. It's a much more complicated story than that. I'll get into it right after these important words. You're listening to The Ralph Bailey Show on a Friday, right here on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, streaming live at currentradio.com.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and
Oi,
Yeah?
adaptive.
Katie's gone. It's 3:30 on a Friday. Well, of course. And her buddy isn't here
COVID
either,
shot,
so what does she have to
but
do?
nah, they really didn't. And he was defending Aaron Rodgers over his recent statements on ESPN. What Cam Newton is saying is that he has a right to be upset just because he didn't get this COVID shot, because there are those people who didn't get the shot either.
weekdays 9 to noon, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
Hope you're joining us on Wednesdays at 3:30 when Ryan and Jennifer Van Alstyne from Adaptive Networks join us. They are the team that provides all the IT work here at American General Media. So if I can't convince you, you should at least listen to the owner-operators as they discuss how important IT is, how important IT cybersecurity is, and just highlight some of the things that you as a business person may not know, the redundancy that you may be going through, and the things that the folks at Adaptive Networks can do for you that others simply cannot. That's why we have been involved with them for over a year now, and we could not be happier with their IT. And if you're frustrated with your IT, go to Adaptive Networks today. Call them at 661-241-0638. That's 241-0638, or hit them online at adaptive-net.com.
Meet Paul Sheldon's client, Dr. Roland Rodriguez. Hello, this is Bakersfield General Surgeon, Dr. Roland Rodriguez, client and friend of Mr. Paul Sheldon. It is my great pleasure and privilege to relate to all of you my absolute exemplary experience with Team Paul Sheldon. I have also referred a number of my colleagues to Paul Sheldon's office, only to receive the most stellar feedback from my doctor friends regarding the office's expert navigation through the complex maze that is Medicare. And even though Paul Sheldon himself is now facing some temporary health challenges, his long-standing and most experienced and expertly trained team of ladies, Christine, Kelly, and Lynn, continue to masterfully guide the clients through the complicated world of Medicare. You most definitely could not possibly do any better than to reach out to Paul Sheldon several months before turning 65. Thank you.
When Medicare matters, our team has the answers. Team Paul Sheldon.
398-2298.
Are you looking for a hospital that truly cares for your health and well-being? At Good Samaritan Hospital, they provide high-quality medical detox, psychiatric services, and medical and surgical care. They accept most insurances, including Medi-Cal, Medicare, and Kern Family. They offer Kern County's longest-standing inpatient detox program with dual diagnosis that combines medical care and withdrawal management all under one roof. Learn more at GoodSamaritanHospital.com or call 661-215-7500. Good Samaritan Hospital. They care for their community.
In 2026, Bay Alarm celebrates 80 years of security. For the Central Valley, that means local service including burglar and fire alarm systems, 24/7 in-house monitoring, and custom security designed to work with business operations. Bay Alarm has real people rooted in your community looking out for your business. After 8 decades and 3 generations of family ownership, our promise is still the same. We got you. Learn more at bayalarm.com.
Hey folks, Scott Cox here, host of the First Look with Scott Cox radio program. You are listening to the Ralph Bailey Show right here on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
842-537-6842 KERN, the Clancy triple murder case in Plymouth, Massachusetts, the Commonwealth of, is wrapping up. The jury will get it Probably, I'm guessing, maybe Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. Just depends. I know they were saying that they were going to have a very long day today because they went short, I think, Tuesday and Wednesday, and they still haven't cleared up what the unforeseen circumstance was, but they sent the jury home for a couple of days. So they said today would be a long day, and I'm assuming Monday will be a long day. I think they want to get in the closing arguments probably by Monday and get this thing to the jury by Tuesday, but we'll see what happens. But I didn't get to see the rebuttal witnesses came later in the morning, and I didn't get to see much of that. But they're devastating. It just depends on your perspective on this thing. You know, the case for the prosecution is the cops don't think she tried to commit suicide. That note really isn't being repeated in the reports that I hear in the mornings, but it's a fact that the police believe, due to blood found on the side of the building, side of the house, that instead of jumping, that she climbed down and either fell while she was climbing down trying to simulate suicide, or she fell from a shorter distance wanting not to kill herself. She has maimed herself. She is in a wheelchair for the rest of her life. But that's the police's theory. And the prosecution's banging theory is, where have the voices gone? The defense's case depends on these voices. But also remember that states run elections and trials and things of that nature independently, 50 different ways if we wanted to. And in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, the suspect has a presumption of not only innocence until they're proven guilty, but she has the presumption of insanity. In other words, it's up to the prosecution to prove that she's sane. And they've had a plethora, they being the defense, physicians, a hospital chaplain, who have come in and spoken for Lindsay Clancy, including our next bite from Dr. Philip Resnick. This guy, according to the reporters covering this trial, is one of the most first and foremost in his field. Here is Dr. Philip Resnick.
She had not only a command hallucination on the day that she killed her children, she had what is known as a delusion of influence. That is, not only did she hear a command, but she felt that her body was taken over by an external force where she was in a dream state and did not have control of her own body. It was almost like she was a puppet and someone else was pulling the strings.
That's pretty powerful. That's pretty powerful. And remember, technically, she only has to convince one juror for this thing to go to a mistrial. They would certainly retry it. But that's pretty damning testimony, along with the female nurse chaplain, or the chaplain at the hospital, and other doctors. You got to remember that the mother-in-law testified. The mother-in-law, Patrick Clancy's mother, testified, quote, she was begging for help. Don't forget that she called a suicide hotline long prior to the murders and was turned away. She was turned away from a suicide hotline because they claimed that she had no plan. Huh? Really? It's not a matter of whether she's going to be free or incarcerated. It's a matter of whether she'll be imprisoned or institutionalized. And I brought up the Andrea Yates case, and just want to read what happened to her because we so quickly forget. Remember, that was the case that everybody's eyes were on. Andrea Yates is an American woman from Houston, Texas, who confessed to drowning her 5 children in their bathtub on June 20th, 2001. The case of Yates, who exhibited severe postpartum depression, postpartum psychosis, and schizophrenia in the years leading up to the murders, placed the McNaughton rules along with the irresistible impulse test for sanity under close public scrutiny in the United States. At Yates' 2002 trial, a Texas jury in 2006 in her, I'm sorry. At Yates' 2002 trial, Chuck Rosenthal, the district attorney of Harris County, asked for the death penalty. Yates was convicted of capital murder, but the jury refused the death penalty option. She was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 40 years. The verdict was overturned on appeal in light of false testimony by a prosecution witness, forensic psychiatrist Park Dietz. On July 26, 2006, a Texas jury in her retrial found that Yates was not guilty by reason of insanity. She was consequently committed by the court to the high-security North Texas State Hospital in Vernon, where she received medical treatment and was a roommate of Dina Schlosser, another woman who committed infanticide by killing her infant daughter. In January of 2007, Yates was moved to Kerrville State Hospital, a low-security state mental hospital in Kerrville, Texas. I think that's the fate of Lindsay Clancy. I think the precedent has been set, although it's in two separate states, two different jurisdictions. But I've always thought, I thought throw the book at her. She's got to go to jail, boop, 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 particularly when I found out early about this blood on the side of the house. But I don't know what to think. I don't know what the jury's going to think. I have my best guess is she's going to be institutionalized. They're not going to find her. They're going to find her not guilty by reason of insanity. I think when you've got the trail of effort that she made to seek help, telling her mother, telling the husband that she was having feelings of hurting the children. And I think the defense has made, they've been able to play three-card monte, which is their job. And they've been able to take the focus away from the actual act, because if you examine the act, how in the world could you find her not guilty? But what the defense has been able to do is to make this a case about mental health and how America handles mental health in 2026. And if I were on that jury, I would say she called a suicide hotline. She told just about everybody close to her that she was freaking out. She chronicled it in her diary. But again, the prosecution comes back with all of these great witnesses that I keep alluding to. Why are there no notes of her alluding to the voices? And one of the doctor's responses was, well, a lot of patients are afraid to admit that for fear that somebody will take their children away. And the prosecution, very bluntly and almost rudely, but you have to be this way, said, oh, what? So it's better to kill your children than to worry about having them taken away from you? I thought that was a big moment in the trial. So to sum it up, I have no idea what's going to happen. My best guess is that she'll be found not guilty due to insanity. She'll be institutionalized for the rest of her life in a wheelchair. But it sure beats prison, where they don't give a damn about your mental health. They just want you to act right, go in the yard when you're told, go back in your cage when you're told, eat when you're told, just do what you're told. They don't give a damn about your mental health. Quick time out, massive pivot. It's a Friday, so we're talking entertainment with KGET reporter Rick Bentley. Then at the top of the hour, we're back to Texas, where Carmelo Anthony is seeking a new trial. But I'm not sure he wants a new trial, because there are new facts that are going to come out about him and Austin Metcalf that we never, ever knew. Quick time out. It's TRBS on a Friday. I'd stick around if I you.
With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. Authorities say a plane that crashed at a remote military site in Alaska, killing all 8 people on board, was making its second runway approach in heavy fog when it lost contact. The National Transportation Safety Board says the Cessna's two pilots could not see the gravel airstrip and were flying solely by instruments when the plane crashed Thursday. A Texas court has slashed a $50 million judgment against InfoWars founder Alex Jones to about $6 million over falsely calling the 2012 Newtown, Connecticut school shootings a hoax. The ruling does not affect a $1.25 billion judgment against Jones in Connecticut, but is a significant legal victory for him after being found liable for damages for claiming the mass shooting didn't happen. More details at srnnews.com.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN. Headlines from the KERN newsroom.
I'm Rob Archer. Bakersfield police are asking for help finding a woman who has been missing for more than 2 weeks. Alicia Norman was last seen August 6th near Buena Vista Road and White Lane. Police say she is considered at risk. Anyone who has seen her or knows where she is should call Bakersfield police. The Bakersfield Fire and Police Departments are planning 2 public ceremonies next month for the 25th anniversary of the September 11th attacks. The first begins at 9:30 the morning of September 11th at the fire station on Buena Vista Road. An evening ceremony starts at 7:30 and will include a roll call honoring 27 Kern County residents who were called to duty. Cooling centers are open until 8 tonight in East Bakersfield, Arvin, Fraser Park, and Lake Isabella. I'm Rob Archer in the Kern Newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Maxwell in the morning. Good till the last mic drop.
You do know the misnomer on that. When they say it's a greenhouse gas, they're not talking about how if you have a greenhouse, that inside the greenhouse, because of the growth of the plants or anything, that you have a concentration of carbon dioxide. It's a greenhouse gas because they know if they pump carbon dioxide into a greenhouse, things grow better. So you learned something today.
Weekdays 9 to noon, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
Hey, it's JR Flores. Catch my show, The JR Show, starting at 1 p.m. Now back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
It's a Friday. Means KGT entertainment reporter Rick Bentley joins us live in studio, as those that are streaming on YouTube can see the man in the purple shirt. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Tired. The dog days of August.
Yeah. Boy, it's really dog days when it comes to movies. We get all, and so they're throwing anything. And, the new TV seasons haven't started yet, so it's a lot of runs, and I'm just crabby today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about Hayden Panettiere. I did not know this girl very well, and I did not know that she was the 10-year-old who I adored in a really good sports film, Return of the Titans.
Return of the Titans.
She's outstanding in that.
Denzel, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
Denzel and Will Payton.
Yep.
That's a great film. It really, really is, because they're running clips of it constantly on reels.
Yeah.
And I forgot just how good a motion picture it is. And it's loosely based on a true story.
Yeah, it's funny because when I went to college at Austin Peay in Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of that movie, they tell you where some of those players ended up going.
Yeah.
And they say one of the players went to Austin Peay to play football. So I checked into it. Well, he didn't, but
Oh, is that right?
that's right. Yeah. Why they would pick Austin Peay, I don't know. It's this obscure name. Come on. But
wow, that's weird.
yeah, because I thought, well, that's kind of cool. I like the idea that maybe one, and no.
Because I was going to say he's probably about our age. Because
Yeah.
wasn't that movie set in like the mid 70s?
I think so. Yeah, it would fit perfectly. Yeah. So.
Wow, I did not know that. They're
Yeah.
fudging on stuff like that? Why would you do that?
When you see the word based on a true story,
They can do whatever they want.
they do whatever they
Yeah.
want.
Yeah, true that.
If they
True
say
that.
this is a true story, then they kind of get less wiggle room.
Yeah.
Speaking of Hayden,
She was phenomenal. And it's just to say, it's every father's nightmare
yeah,
getting hooked up with the wrong guy. I mean, she was on drugs. She admitted she started when she was 15, long before she met this Hickerson nitwit.
yeah.
But he was her downfall. I don't think there's any question about that.
She falls into that category. I've always said I want to write a book talking to people who at one time on television or movies were famous and then nothing. I mean, she did Heroes, which, the first season of that is one of the best in TV. Then she did the Nashville series.
Right.
But after that, her career she kind of faded away. And I've always wondered what it must be like to live a life where one moment you could get any restaurant table you want. Everybody knows they want your picture with you. They want your autograph. And then the next moment you're forgotten.
Yeah.
And how do you deal with it? And I think we see too many situations where that, you have idle hands and idle time, and drugs can take over that part.
Yeah.
Of it.
She said she started at 15.
Yeah.
With the happy pill.
Yeah. Well, I don't have the greatest memories of Hayden. So I can understand her thinking she needed that. I did a set visit to Heroes, the TV show, and they divided us, all the critics, up into groups, and she led our tour. She didn't want to be doing it.
Yeah.
And she was not the kindest person. She didn't want to be there. She didn't care about us. And that was my only run-in with her.
How old was she at that point?
Well, in Heroes, she must have been late teens, early 20s. Yeah.
About 15 years ago?
Yeah. And so, so that was all. That's just my impression of her. But that could have been just a bad day. I'm not going to say that was her life, but I do feel like she falls into that category of how many times have we seen, so and so who was the star of, and they die, and they at an early age.
Yeah.
And all deaths are tragic, but when you're that young, that's just horrifying. And again, you're right. It's a parent's worst. No parent should outlive their child.
And they've lost 2 children.
Yeah.
The brother died of, I think, of a heart situation.
Yeah.
When he was like 28 years old.
Yeah.
That I can't even imagine.
No.
I mean, talk about empty nest when you lose your children due to death.
Yeah.
Some parents freak out when their kids go to. I have 2 friends right now freaking out because their kids just went to college.
Oh.
Let alone you have to bury both of your children. I just can't imagine.
When I helped my son move to Los Angeles to start his life, I got home and I looked at my wife and said, "No, I'm going back and get him." Because my wife said, "No, you're not. Just shut up." But yeah, I know that, and that he was just moving to LA. It wasn't like I had lost him.
My departure from my dad was a little less dramatic.
Oh,
we flew to Beaufort, hung out with my grandmother because we had to be there on a Saturday. So we left on a Wednesday, spent a couple of days in Beaufort. Then we spent Friday showing me Atlanta, showing me Auburn Avenue. It used to be the mecca of Black Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
Then he showed me Morehouse. He showed me his dorm room. He showed me where Dr. King stayed. Then he helped me get my trunk up, and we went and got my registration materials. And then we went back to my dorm room, and we were in there for about 2 minutes. And he said, "Well, good luck. Call me if you need any money. Make us proud." And walked out. And I'm sitting in this godforsaken room, and there's a big cockroach flying across, and the mattress is all nasty and disgusting. And I'm just like, what the hell have I done? 1,000 miles from home. I don't know anybody. And my dad just walked out. What am I going to do?
But look at the man you became.
I was a pretty good student for 2 years.
Yeah.
For 2 years, I was a pretty good student and then lost it my junior year. What else is going on in the entertainment world?
It's kind of I just want to mention real quick, we can segue right to this, to remind people that the new version of A Different World's coming up in September.
I saw that, where it's the daughter of Dwayne Wayne and Whitley.
Right.
And Kadeem Hardison and
Jasmine
Guy are going to be in it as well.
Yeah, Jasmine, Kadeem, Cree Summer, and
Really?
and Daryl Bell are all coming back.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
it won't do well. It won't do.
No, I've seen the preview of it. It just doesn't have the same. I love the original show. I thought the original show really had some heart to it. That show seemed more about coming of age.
Yes.
This seems more like going to a party.
Right. That's what I saw.
And again, this is just the preview. I haven't seen the first episodes.
Neither have I. Like I just saw some clips.
But it just,
but it looks silly to me.
It does. It just does not have that same feel that we had the first time around.
Yeah.
So
the first one was very good. All those external shots, by the way, I always remind you guys of this. I don't know why, but that's Spelman College.
Yeah.
Which is a gorgeous college. Yeah. I mean, you go to Morehouse, which is kind of a dump, although over the last 40 years since I was there, they've improved it, obviously, because we've had graduates that made a ton of money, including Robert Smith, who paid for the entire class, their financial aid a couple of years back.
Wow.
But you walk on the Rockefellers and the Cosbys and the Oprahs has helped funded Spelman, and you walk on that Spelman campus, you think you're at Princeton.
Yeah.
It is, and it's kind of, the Atlanta University Center is kind of in the ghetto. I wouldn't really call it a ghetto, but it ain't the nicest neighborhood in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And you walk on that campus and you'd never know where you were because you're like, man, this is gorgeous. It really, really is.
Yeah.
But I don't see it doing well. I really don't.
I don't. It just continues this trend, and I'm so tired of reviving. You know, we've got the Rockford Files coming up.
I saw that too.
I saw the first episode, and you might as well have called it Detective Guy. I mean, the Rockford Files worked because of James Garner.
Absolutely. Period. End of sentence.
Yeah, you just don't capture that magic. That's
just such a magical man.
Yeah.
So funny you mentioned him because is his name Gerald McInerney? Is he the guy that played the brothers? They had a series together. They were investigators, and he was married to Della Reese.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Is that Gerald
McCraney?
Gerald McCraney, is that his name? He tells a story that I was watching just the other day where he's coming on Rockford Files to do one scene, period.
Yeah.
Not an episode, one scene. And he says he's sitting in his trailer and there's a knock at the door. And he goes, who could this be? I'm leaving in about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And he opens the door and it's Jim Garner. And he says, hey, Buckaroo, welcome to the set. Appreciate you.
Man.
And went on. And he said he never forgot Jim Garner for that. And then they worked on something together. And he said, now I felt like I knew him. So I had my parents with me on the set. And I went and knocked on his trailer. And he was in with a Universal executive.
Oh.
And he heard me say, well, I wanted to introduce my parents to him. And the guy, his assistant was like, well, I'm sorry. He's talking with the executive.
Yeah.
It's like, no, Joe, wait a minute. Is that Joe? Your parents are out there? And he said he came out his trailer and talked to my parents for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
He's just an amazing man.
Yeah.
He really, really was.
When people ask about stars,
yes,
it's that kind of story that you say, no, that's a star.
Yeah.
Somebody who would, again, gets any restaurant reservation he wants, can do anything, and yet he's so connected to people. He has not forgot how he got there.
Yeah.
And that says so much. I think that's why he's so revered.
Yes. War hero.
Yeah.
Gave Dan Blocker his first break.
Yep.
He served in the war with Dan Blocker and told him he should get into Hollywood. Blocker showed up and Garner got him a gig on Maverick. And that was the beginning of his career.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It's this whole trend of just going back thinking we can rekindle. I don't know why just calling it the Rockford Files is going to draw in that many people. When we did the revival of Matlock, I'm using air quotes for the people who are watching, that whole idea was that it was a fake. She wasn't really Matlock. She was pretending to be this sort of country, to get in. And so I could see the idea there that, oh, okay, you're taking on that persona. It's like doing a goofy show about the police force and calling yourself Barney Fife.
Right.
But you're just there to investigate the police. Okay. So, but I just don't know how because the Rockford Files, 44, 45 years ago, it went off the air. I mean, I liked the show.
It was a great show.
Yeah.
Great show.
But I don't know.
Him running around in that brown Camaro.
Yeah. I don't know if that resonates enough to say, oh, as soon as we put this on the air, people.
No, because it wasn't, you wouldn't call it a classic.
No. It filled the slot properly. It gave you it had good ratings.
It was a fun show.
Yeah, it didn't have great ratings.
No.
But what ratings it got was not based on the show, because it was a very standard detective show. It was James Garner.
Yeah.
And we don't have James Garner anymore.
No, we don't, unfortunately.
So that whole trend is just driving me nuts. I'm so tired of, what's next? Oh, well, they're going to redo this or that or something. It's like, and you have to wonder, when will something that just came on just recently, like, oh, we're relaunching Dexter, which was only on a few years ago, but there's no original ideas.
There really aren't. Don't understand
That's
it.
right.
With all these writers out there and all these kids trying to get jobs, none of them can come up with unique ideas for a sitcom.
But when they do it in the movies, the public notices. This summer, the two biggest horror films were Obsession and Back Rooms.
Yeah.
Those films were made for $9 a piece. One guy had actually done part of the video he had a YouTube channel and that sort of thing. These were original ideas. Now, are they extremely original? I would say Backroom is, though it frustrated me. Obsession, I'd kind of seen that story before about a crazy person becoming obsessed and doing all sorts of bad things. But at least there was some effort. It wasn't like, oh, we're going to have to do Carrie, a relaunch, and they're going to relaunch the Carrie series now.
Really?
So we get that again. So
oh my!
I'd rather see somebody do something, but it's all about the money.
Yeah.
I think they feel like there's a dollar factor that they can put in there that just because we brought this name on, that we know that we're going to make some more money than if it's been original.
Have the productions of independent films dwindled? Because you would think with this vacuum, this vacancy, that they would fill it with young, crazy, independent directors and screenwriters.
But I'm predicting this summer will be a massive change as far as Hollywood thinking. We looked at The Mandalorian, which was made for $300 million or whatever,
Right.
Bombed.
Yeah.
Didn't make money. Then we look at Obsession and we look at Back Rooms, made for really very pittance. I mean, it wasn't even the catering bill for Mandalorian. And they made $200 million, $300 million. I think studios are going to go, wait a minute, why not? If we make a film for $1 million, excuse me, this is my voice here. If we make a film for $1 million and we only make 10 times that amount, we're still ahead. If we make a film for $100 million and lose 10 times, 9/10 of that.
Yeah.
So. Sorry.
We're running out of time, and I'll let you go because you're about to lose your
I'm
voice.
running out of voice.
You know what I watched last night, which I think is a great picture that's so underrated and it's so star-filled and it's so fun to watch now.
Porky.
30 years later. That is a good film.
Yeah.
But this was School Ties, which is just an incredible cast of soon-to-be stars.
Yeah.
It stars Brandon Fraser
Brandon.
as the Jewish kid that gets recruited to a Catholic school,
Right.
but has to hide the fact that he's a Jew. Matt Damon plays the guy that rats him out. Who's Matt Damon's best friend?
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck is a young in it. The who plays what's his name on the Dutton Family? The mean guy with the boyfriend.
Oh,
in
yeah.
The Dutton Family. Who's the boyfriend, Chris?
Cole
Cole Hauser.
Cole Hauser.
He's a young Cole Hauser's in it. I mean, there are like 6 or 7 young stars that are teenagers, and that's a great film.
Yeah.
With a really good racist message.
Yeah. And are you watching Lioness?
I am, but I'm not. I'm recording them, but I've not started watching them yet. What is it, like the 3rd episode of the new year?
Yeah, because I'm ahead. I watched the 5th episode last
Yeah,
night.
okay. I got to catch up. I've got gout, so I'm not playing golf. So I'll.
It's a good reason.
Let's go, Chris.
It's a good reason to hang around and watch the Linus.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal series.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, sorry about my voice today. I don't know.
That's all right. It's all right. You gotta apologize because of your voice.
Well, I don't know what. It's all that talking I do all the day.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
I'm so
Big
talked out.
TV star.
Yeah, well,
Rick Bentley, everybody. Quick timeout. We'll check the board, see what you all are talking about. Nothing in the chat room yet. And then Elaine Sloan going to join us at the top of the hour, talk about the Greek Festival. They got a big surprise this year, a little different, a little curveball for you. Just tell you all about that. We'll get into the Carmelo Anthony appeal down in McKinney, Texas. Eric Swalwell, the man who would be governor, is going to prison. We'll cover all of this on the Ralph Bailey Show right here on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. We're streaming live at kernradio.com.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN. First Look with Scott Cox, mornings 6 to 9 a.m.
Valley Plaza Mall has introduced a new preferred parking program to give shoppers the option of having a guaranteed upfront parking space in a section of the parking lot for a fee. And by the way, this is taken off all across the country. You want to park up close, you can, but you're going to have to pay for it.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
I literally was just down the hall on my last break talking about the fourth quarter of my life with Rand Dizzle down in the hot studios. And I was telling him just what a 500-pound gorilla I got off my back about 10 years ago when I became a client at Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors. I don't have to worry about the late fourth quarter in my life. Who knows when that could be? That could be tomorrow. That could be 5 years from now. That could be 20 years from now, for all I know. And that's why I suggest you call Daniel at 661-395-9400. If you're over 50, it's time to start thinking about the late fourth quarter in your life. Become a client of Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors, or just tune in on Thursdays at 4:30 where Daniel joins us with all the information on silver, gold, the deficit, et cetera, et cetera. Daniel Petrie and the folks at Messmaker Petrie Wealth Advisors.
This broadcast is for informational purposes only and does not constitute investment advice or a solicitation for advisory services by Daniel Petrie or MPWA Incorporated, DBA, Messmaker, and Petrie Wealth Advisors. The program host is a client and receives compensation and other financial benefits in connection with this advertisement, creating a conflict of interest. Experiences discussed may not be representative of other clients.
Do you owe back taxes or have unfiled tax returns? The IRS won't quit until they get your money. Here's great news, fresh from those in the know. Major changes have happened at the IRS. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a 99% reduction of what you owe. Haven't filed a return for a while? Their happy clients are talking.
The IRS was going to levy my bank account, but Guardian was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues. Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Need relief from crushing tax debt? The IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax knows all about them. Personal or business, this is the fresh new break you've been hoping for.
We aren't the company you call when you need a hug because you're scared of the IRS. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really help me out. I'd recommend them highly.
Call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-499-5351. 800-499-5351. 800-499-5351.
Results may vary. Hey folks, Scott Cox here, host of the First Look with Scott Cox radio program. You are listening to the Ralph Bailey Show right here on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
842-5376, 842-KERN. What do you got on the board?
Let's see. This Supreme Court allows Trump to build his bunker/ballroom. That's like allowing anyone to add or restructure public housing without going through the protocol.
No, first of all, no, it's not. And second of all, the court had no choice. The thing is, it's 65% built. They've got scaffolding and those big cranes hanging around the White House. What were you going to have them do? Just let them hang out there until the court makes its decision? The thing is more than halfway built. You let them build it, and then you make the legalities, and then you let, AOC or J.B. Pritzker, or whoever the hell the next Democratic president is, tear it down. But and the money, the cost of the thing is the security, and that's already in place. That was what the big to do was about, because we're spending a lot of money on that. But that's already in place. That's in the basement. I think it's a bad message when people are struggling for this guy to be making arches and speedways around DC and ballrooms. But I think one thing that shooting at the White House Correspondents' Dinner illustrated is there does need to be a facility where the president can hold functions of massive amounts and host foreign dignitaries. Now, I don't know how suddenly the White House became so dangerous that they had to have this massive security in this ballroom, but it is what it is. I think the Supreme Court is going to agree with him and let him build it. I think the precedent has been set by other presidents, not to this grandeur, not to this, scale. But, Nixon put in a bowling alley. He was a big bowling guy. Obama put in a basketball court, which I thought was kind of like, dude, the first black president, you're going to put a basketball court in there, really? Well, does the basketball have chains? Does the net have chains? Things that straight out of the ghetto. You got to really, as a brother, that's the first thing you had to do? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Call me crazy. Dwight Eisenhower put a putting green in. I mean, there have been guys that have changed the White House. So what's the difference, technically, is what the court's going to say. What's the difference between what Nixon did and what the president did? And everybody says, well, it's our house. Well, it's kind of like their house for the 8 years they're in. Yes, it's our house, and it's unfortunate that the access, and that's not what the founding fathers want. There was one president, I think it was, I can't remember what president, that used to let people come visit, and they would have like a ham out in the area where they would enter the White House. You could come in and make yourself a ham sandwich. I'm not making that up, but those days are long over. What else you got?
By definition, no sane parent would kill their children and then commit suicide. This was clearly an act of a very disturbed person.
Yeah, but the prosecution says she wasn't trying to kill herself. She was trying to fake it. And that she sent her husband out to the store so she could do this. The reason that I think she's going to be institutionalized is because the prosecution has yet to come up with a motive. And so without a motive, most of the jury, I think, are going to come to the same conclusion that you have. I've always believed you have to be insane to murder anybody. To put a bullet in somebody knowing that you're going to go to prison for the rest of your life, you have to be either remarkably stupid or just incredibly insane. But yeah, I've maintained, I think she's going to be institutionalized. She's going to go the Andrea Yates route, who drowned her children, drowned them one by one. One more. Let's get Elaine Sloan in here.
I've got a better idea for Miss Child Murder Looney Tunes. She's already sitting comfortably in a chair. Just get a couple of car batteries.
We're headed into the 4 o'clock hour. We're talking about the Greek Festival. The ladies have a little surprise this year for their annual event. Then we're headed to McKinney, Texas, where Carmelo Anthony, the man that put a knife in a 17-year-old's chest and called it self-defense, is seeking a new trial. But the evidence in the new trial may be more damning than the first trial. And Eric Swalwell, the man who would be governor, is going to prison. In this talk show host's modest opinion, we'll get into that. It's the Ralph Bailey Show on a Friday, right here on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, streaming live at KernRadio.com.
Kern Radio, AM 1230, KERN, 96.1 FM, K241CI, Bakersfield, an American General Media station.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. the U.S. and South Korea have wrapped up their annual military drill 6 days early following orders from President Trump. Correspondent Donna Warder reports.
The U.S. and South Korean militaries were supposed to carry out 11 days of simulated North Korean attacks, but the exercise wrapped up on Friday. Just before it began on Monday, President Donald Trump ordered the Pentagon to substantially reduce the exercise, saying he had a good relationship with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, and South Korea had refused to support him over the war in Iran. The North says ending the annual drill 6 days early is not enough to persuade it to return to talks. The U.S. Pacific Command says the U.S. remains committed to the defense of the U.S. homeland and its allies in the region. I'm Donna Warder.
The Supreme Court is allowing the White House to continue construction on President Trump's $400 million White House ballroom project for now. Chief Justice John Roberts signed a temporary order on Friday letting work continue as the court considers an emergency appeal from Trump's Republican administration. Severe weather hit the New York area yesterday, causing damage. Nassau County Executive Bruce Blakeman says the area was hit by a tornado Thursday.
Yesterday at approximately 7:11 p.m., we had a tornado touchdown here in Atlantic Beach at the Sun and Surf Beach Club. There was extensive damage.
The storms tore through a beach on Long Island Thursday, stranded dozens of people in their cars in New Jersey, and knocked out power in parts of Delaware's capital city of Dover. On Wall Street, the Dow by 517 points, the Nasdaq rose 113, the S&P 500 index rising by 33 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Are you carrying more than $10,000 in credit card debt? Do you feel like you're running on a financial treadmill, making payment after payment, month after month, yet never getting ahead? If you're tired of watching your hard-earned money disappear into interest charges, there may be options available to help you take back control of your finances. At Total Financial Freedom, they'll show you what qualified consumers may be able to save through programs designed to help them resolve debt faster than making minimum payments alone. The consultation is free, confidential, and comes with absolutely no obligation. Why spend years, sometimes decades, paying thousands in interest when there may be a better path forward? Total Financial Freedom is a Christian-owned company that has helped thousands of Americans pursue financial freedom for nearly 20 years and is proudly A+ rated and accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now and ask how you can receive a complimentary copy of The Debt Dietitian. Stop running in place. Start moving toward financial freedom at 866-844-7344. 866-844-7344.
From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update.
Police are asking for help finding a woman who has been missing for more than 2 weeks. I'm Rob Archer. Alicia Norman was last seen August 6th near Buena Vista Road and White Lane. Police say she is considered at risk and may need help. Anyone who has seen her or knows where she is should get in touch. A northbound 5 semi-truck fire created a Grapevine traffic jam this morning. The fire shut down all northbound lanes for a while. One lane had reopened by 9 this morning, but traffic was still backed up toward Fraser Mountain Road. Drivers heading through the area today should check conditions before they leave. The mission at Kern County is changing how it approaches homelessness and addiction. Instead of moving people straight into housing, the mission says it's putting treatment and recovery first. The program focuses on getting people sober, into counseling and job training, then helping them move into stable housing. Mission leaders say too many people cycle back onto the streets when addiction and mental health problems are not dealt with first. A Bakersfield gun store is drawing attention in a statewide review of guns later recovered by police. State data shows 83 guns recovered by Bakersfield police from 2023 through 25 were traced back to Turner's Outdoorsman on Mohawk Street. Police say they're not aware of any illegal sales at the store, and a traced gun does not mean the dealer broke the law. The heat stays with us this afternoon. Bakersfield reaching about 102 with cooling centers open until 8 tonight in East Bakersfield, Arvin, Fraser Park, and Lake Isabella. Anyone who needs a free ride to a cooling center can call 211. I'm Bob Archer in the Kern Newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
To the rest of our in a month from now, this Hollywood Big Shot's going to give you what you want.
Too late. They start shooting in a week. I'm going to make them an offer again with you.
The Ralph Bailey Show. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. KERN.
And I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land.
Call in or text to 661-842-KERN. That's 661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com. Now, the host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
Hour 2 of the broadcast on this Friday, 21st day of August. This is the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. We're streaming live at KERNradio.com. Coming up, bottom of the hour, we're going to get into the Carmelo Anthony case. He is seeking a second trial after being found guilty, sentenced to 35 years in prison for the knifing death of 17-year-old Austin Metcalf. But some of the facts that were not entered in the first trial are more damning against Carmelo Anthony than the first. We talked a little bit about it yesterday. I'll give you some of the facts and some of the interesting text messages that were exchanged between he and his girlfriend the day that he killed Austin Metcalf. And we know more about Austin Metcalf, the victim in this case. We'll talk about that. And the man who would be governor is going to prison. Eric Swalwell is going, write it down. I told you August 21st. Eric Swalwell will be wearing stripes. They have a big ball and chain around his ankle. And I'm not talking about his wife. I'm talking about prison. He's going to jail. And then we'll talk a little Dodger baseball. They're back in town. Town being Los Angeles, obviously, taking on the Pirates tonight. Yoshinobu Yamamoto takes the bump, 12-7 with a 2.60 ERA. And good news for the White House. We'll leave with this in the 5. The Supreme Court has allowed the president to go ahead and build his ballroom. And while they figure out the legalities of it, it's 65% built. So they said complete it, and we'll see if it's legal or not later on. In the meantime, yeah, it's kind of like ask for forgiveness rather than permission.
Yeah.
It's that old phrase. As those of you who are streaming on YouTube can tell, lovely ladies involved with the Greek Orthodox Church and the Greek Festival joining us from left to right. Debbie Anton, and of course, Elaine Sloan is back with us. Annette Lundquist, who is normally her twin, is on vacation, but she'll be involved deeply in this. Hi, ladies.
Hello.
What's really going on? Another kickoff of the Greek Food Festival. It's so exciting.
We do. Well, we had Basil, a comedian, last year.
Mm-hmm.
And so...
Oh, really? I thought this was the first year. My bad.
No, it was last year. And we had so many compliments. And everybody goes, is he coming back? Is he coming back next year? We said yes. So we booked him again. So he's coming again this year.
Nice.
It's on September 12th. And it's a Greek-themed comedy show, kind of like last year, but it's a totally different program. So you don't have to be Greek, obviously.
Yeah, let's start from the beginning and explain to the new folks in our community what exactly this is all about, the tradition, how long you've been doing it, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, the festival's been around for
52 years.
Right, 52 years now.
That's incredible.
And so it has grown so much. And we thought it'd be kind of fun to do something different. And that's why we started with this kickoff last year.
Mm-hmm.
And it just gives everybody an opportunity to just come and share and laugh and enjoy and eat and drink and, that whole bit. So it just allows us to do something fun.
Yeah.
You know?
And great food.
Yeah. Let's talk about the food, because you know me, I'm a Greek freak. I love Greek food.
So what we're having that evening, it's just all appetizers, but may as well be a whole meal.
Yeah.
You know us. We don't know
yeah.
how to cook for,
Right.
So we're doing our meatballs, but we're doing a kapama sauce with it. It's a red sauce, and it's on its mother's homemade recipe.
Nice.
So we're having that. We're having sliders this year. We're doing tiropitas again, the cheese puffs.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the feta, the tzatziki, the pita bread, Greek olives.
Oh, I love Greek olives.
Yeah, we
Greek
kind of
popcorn.
spice them up a little bit.
Greek popcorn.
We're doing Greek popcorn.
What is Greek popcorn?
Well, last year they wouldn't tell us, and I don't really know what it is this year. I'm
Well, last year we did feta. We just
Did
added
feta
feta to the French fries, to the popcorn.
I don't know what it is this year.
So this year, we're just going to surprise everyone. We're going to let you know when you get there. Just something fun, easy, tasty. So it'll be fun.
Yeah.
And then we also have desserts. So we have our
This is my favorite, the baklava.
Baklava.
Oh.
The kumbielas are, the powdered sugar cookies,
Mhm.
which is called the wedding cookie. And then we're doing karivopita, and that is the walnut honey cake. So we'll be having that as well. And God, the rest is
no host bar.
Yep, we have a no host bar as well.
Yep.
So we're excited. Basil's excited. I talked to him this morning, and he's so thrilled to come back. And so he's just willing to just put it out there. And the show starts at 7:30 because the event starts at 6. So we have appetizers and all that ahead of time.
Okay.
But his show will go for 2 hours. He just keeps going. Last year he ended it, I think, at 10 o'clock.
I mean, he tells stories, about his family and about things that have gone on growing up. And surprisingly enough, they're very funny. And so that's kind of his genre, is stories. And
we can relate to all that because what he's sharing is how we all grew up too.
Right.
So it just kind of gives you a little insight on the craziness in our Greek
I
families.
mean, my big fat Greek wedding was kind of a send off, in the beginning to this stuff, but it's on steroids compared to that.
Yeah.
He actually engages the crowd if he
Mhm.
knows who's where, so we kind of fill him in a little. And so he kind of just pulls everybody in, and it just makes it fun for him too.
Yeah.
And for the crowd. I don't think, as we talked about before, how much laughter happened last year. People were crying because it was that funny. And I hadn't laughed that much it just seems like in years, or that hard. It's that belly laugh that you have, right? But it's just a good thing. You know what I mean? It's a good thing.
And he laughs. He's kind of like,
Yeah.
he laughs himself. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And then he tried to set up this couple in the audience last time. We're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the new thing in comedy is engaging the audience and
He does
going
that.
back and forth with them. Yeah. Talk with Debbie Anton and Elaine Sloan about the Greek
Solon.
Festival.
Solon.
Solon.
It's okay.
I've been calling you Sloan for years.
Well, we know we can correct and say it's. I know.
Yeah.
If it were a D there, Dolan, you would have no problems. But you stick that S in it, and it just throws.
I've been calling you Sloan for like 6 years. You've never corrected me.
I didn't.
That is crazy.
Well,
talk a little bit about Greek culture because it's a little different. Because as as you've heard over the years, my very first girlfriend, Constance Irene Tsoulis,
that's right,
was a young Greek girl, and we would always talk about our different cultures, and it is a different culture.
It is. There's so much history that is involved as well. Our church has been there for, oh my gosh, 24.
Well, we had our 100-year anniversary, remember, a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Of our community.
Of the community.
Yeah.
So that's how old the Greeks have been around here in Bakersfield.
So, and with that, at this year's festival, which is in October, we have a self-guided tour that we're going to have, and we have posters up and explaining our icons, our stained glass windows, our priest vestments, just kind of a warm feeling of having you come in and light your candle, say your prayer, and just walk through and just feel like
explaining everything as you walk through,
Yeah.
so okay, this is his vestments, and what does this represent, and
Yeah, because Greek history is fascinating.
Oh.
I had to study Greek history in Latin, and it's incredibly fascinating. Here is the $35,000 question. Have you both seen The Odyssey?
I have not seen it.
What?
Okay.
Nick saw
it.
What?
I know. My son saw it, and he said, "Mom,
It's amazing.
You got to go see this movie." And I said, "Okay."
Yeah, you really do.
But I haven't seen it, but I hear nothing but good things about it. Positive reviews.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's amazing.
So I gather you've seen it.
Well, that's an interesting story.
You haven't either.
No, I've seen 2 hours of it.
Okay.
I got sent to the wrong theater because I was late. I was about 5 minutes late.
Yeah.
Because I said no movie starts at 5:15. There's 10 minutes worth of previews.
Yeah.
So I got sent to the wrong theater.
Yeah.
And I walked in, and it was really the crux of the movie. But I was like, well, maybe because it's a Chris Isaac, whatever his name is, movie. They started right at 5:15, and I'm just 5 minutes late. And then I realized, no, this is not right. And it ended like 2 hours later.
Oh,
So I went back
no.
up to the front and they said, oh, yeah, you got sent to the wrong theater, sir. You're supposed to go to 14. I'm sorry. They refunded my thing. So technically I've seen it, but I got to go see it
You
again.
got to go see it now.
But the
were you
2 hours
supposed
that
to
I
go see?
saw, huh?
What were you going to see?
I was going to see that. It was
Oh,
three
okay.
different
This is
theaters.
different.
It was three different theaters.
Gotcha.
And they sent me to the theater where it had already started.
Got it.
So and it was right at the crux. It's right where they,
You know
the
what?
Battle of Troy begins.
You got to see everything before that.
Yeah,
You got
exactly.
the build up and
I
all
know.
that, right?
Exactly. So, but the 2 hours that I saw, that's what Rick Bentley said.
Yeah.
If you didn't even see an hour of the 3 hour film and you still liked it, that's how powerful a film it is.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Me
You know?
too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Definitely.
Elaine, say it.
Solon
is with us, along with Debbie and Todd.
You would have a horrible time with her maiden name, the long version of
What
it,
is the
and
maiden
mine.
Theodoropoulos.
Oh, yeah.
So when my dad came through Ellis Island, he cut it down to Theodore. And his name was Alexandros Theodoropoulos. So he cut it down to Alex Theodore.
You know, all my Greek friends did that. I had a friend, George Alexopoulos.
Yep.
And they changed their name to Alex.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Brett Alis, he was a Lastriani.
Okay.
And he changed their family, changed it to
We were
Alis.
Back then, that's what they did, you
Yeah.
know, because it was hard. You're coming to the States and you want to become American citizens and all that. So, you know, that's kind of what they did back then. And some people didn't,
Yeah.
you know, but you know, back then in the 50s, things were different,
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
They were different.
Tell the folks how they can get tickets, what the date is,
September
what time
12th.
they should be there.
Starts at 7:30 p.m.
No,
with
6 o'clock.
Okay, 6 for cocktails and appetizers.
Mhm.
And tickets are $50 for general admission. VIP is $75. And go ahead.
So the VIP tickets, they're reserved seating. So we have 3-4 tables right up front. So VIP tickets, that's what's included in that.
Okay.
You can call the church office at 661-325-8694, or you can go on our website. It's St. George, that's stgeorgebakersfield.org.
Outstanding.
stgeorgebakersfield.org.
Outstanding. September 12th.
Yep.
It's always a great time. It really is.
Yeah.
Ladies, thanks so much for
You're
coming.
welcome.
and talking
Thanks
about
for
it.
having us. again.
Tell her that we said hey.
Will do.
Good to see you guys.
You too.
Quick time out. Coming right back. We've got a couple of things to get into. The situation down in Texas with Carmelo Anthony. Eric Swalwell gets stopped at the San Francisco International Airport by the FBI. As my grandmama used to say, he going to jail. He going to jail. We'll unpack that for you. In the meantime, you're listening to The Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. We're streaming live at kernradio.com. This is Solon.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN. Maxwell in the morning. Good till the last mic drop.
Studies report 77.6% of croplands area experienced a positive greenness anomaly in 2025 for a world continually told that it is teetering on the edge of ecological catastrophe. A record green planet seems to be something worth mentioning. Plants apparently missed the memo that carbon dioxide is supposed to be an environmental villain.
Weekdays 9 to noon, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
You know, there's an aspect of Casey's Steakhouse that I don't talk about quite enough, and it's really one of my favorite aspects what the guys in the back are doing, and that's the daily soups. Yeah, I know most of you order a salad because it's more healthy for you, but try the soups. The vegetable beef is incredible. The chicken noodle is unique. It's not like a typical chicken noodle. It's a little less salty and really, really tastes with big old chunks of chicken. My favorite is the chicken pot pie. It actually tastes like a chicken pot pie, or the corn tortilla. And of course, on Fridays, the clam chowder. Where would you rather be? You can get it in a bread bowl on Fridays. But just try that instead of a salad next time. And of course, try out the Stockyard next door, Thursday, Fridays, and Saturday nights. They've got live music on Saturday. And of course, Bobby and Jimmy are providing live music in the main restaurant Wednesday through Saturday. Where would you rather be than on F Street at KC Steakhouse, longtime sponsors of the Ralph Bailey Show.
Carpet Outlet Plus. Every day is sale day. No one can beat us, no one can touch us. You won't find better prices. Shop and compare, we don't care. Take a look our way and come into Carpet Outlet Plus. Every day is sale day.
Carpet Outlet Plus is proud to support Renegade Football, rolling out the red carpet for a 40-yard try for three for a cool $1,000. If your floors look like they're going into overtime, come see how we can get you across the goal line. New hardwood, vinyl options accented by custom area rugs, and of course, new carpet. Support your local teams and your local business. 3.5 blocks west of 99 on Rosedale Highway.
Carpet Outlet Plus. Every day is sale day.
Looking to refresh your home or business with a clean, professional new look? Trust the experienced team at Howling Painting. Family owned and operated in Kern County since 1978, Howling Painting has built a reputation for quality workmanship, dependable service, and attention to detail. From residential to commercial projects, interior or exterior painting, their team is committed to delivering beautiful results at competitive prices. Named Best of Bakersfield's Best Painting Company in both 2025 and 2026, Howling Painting takes pride in making sure every customer is completely satisfied before the job is done. And with a fully licensed and insured team, you can feel confident knowing your property is in trusted hands. Call Howling Painting today at 872-0988, at 872-0988, or visit howlingpainting.com to schedule your free, no obligation consultation. Howling Painting. Quality you can see, service you can trust.
Hey, it's JR Flores. Catch my show, The JR Show, starting at 1 p.m. Now back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
So we talked a little bit about this yesterday. Carmelo Anthony, the 17-year-old then, at the time of the crime, when he put a knife in the chest of Austin Metcalf. They were at a track meet in Frisco, Texas. It was raining. Some of the teams, some of the schools had tents, those little pub tents where you could get on from under the rain. And Carmelo Anthony had first gone into because it was how they have a track meet at one school and they'll have 7 or 8 schools at that school participating in the track meet, not just one-on-one like a football game or a baseball game, but you'll have several schools participating. And so he tried to get into the dugout, and the manager threw him out of there. And he tried to go to another tent. They threw him out of there. And then he finally went to the tent where Austin Metcalf went to school. And there was some sort of confrontation. It just depends on who testified and what they saw and what they claimed. But there was some pushing or some confrontation. And Anthony, who had a knife in his bag, pulled it out and shoved it in this kid's chest. And, the position that I took is even if he pushed you, that's no cause to stick a knife in him. Now, if you want to punch him in the face, okay, roll on the ground like teenagers do. But to pull out a knife, and what the hell are you doing at 17 with a knife in your bag? And what complicated this matter just a little bit is from what we knew, and because I defended him for a little while, Carmelo Anthony was a pretty good kid. He had a 3.75 GPA. He was an athlete, maintaining almost a 4.0 GPA. It's pretty damn impressive. What we didn't know is the prosecution and the defense had an agreement, the likes of which I've never heard of. And I used to cover the courts. Again, you could feel what I know about law in my left ear, but I used to cover the courts. I know a little something, and I know a ton of attorneys. And we have a brilliant judge coming in on every Tuesday, and we'll talk with her about this. But they made a gentleman's agreement, nothing in writing, but both sides agreed to leave both boys' past out of the trial. Why? because it was incredibly inflammatory in terms of the race issue. Austin Metcalf, the victim who died, was a disciplinary problem at his school. He was in and out of trouble. And part of his trouble was putting graffiti up on places, and it was vile, racist messages that he was writing with paint. And he had problems with being a bully. None of this we knew. None of this we knew. And somebody called in yesterday when we talked about the racist remarks and sarcastically said something like, do you think that changes the decision? How the hell do I know? How the hell does anybody know? The only people that know were those 12 jurors, because all Anthony needed was one, and you got a mistrial. But then there's the other side. And that's why I believe that, A, I don't think he's going to get another trial. B, if he gets another trial, I think it'll be a bigger slam dunk than the first trial, because what the defense was hiding, so that's what the prosecution was hiding, Austin Metcalf's problems at school, his disciplinary problems, his tendency to bully people, and the fact that he was a virulent racist. The defense was hiding the fact that Carmelo Anthony, and I think this is much more damaging than Austin Metcalf being a racist, because, I mean, it is Texas. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But we learned that on the day that Carmelo Anthony shoved this knife into Austin Metcalf's chest, his girlfriend was petitioning her assistant principal and telling him, look, this guy is stalking me. He's dangerous. He's into fighting. He wants to use this knife. And I told you that he sent a picture of the knife and said some mercurial message that neither Chris or I could figure out. I'm low-key on the verge, which I can only read into I'm on the verge of using this knife, because he sent a picture of the knife itself. This is the day he killed Austin Metcalf. And he sent her a picture of the knife and saying, I'm low-key, I'm on the verge. Well, now I'm absolutely convinced that he was into this, because the other message that he sent that we didn't know about yesterday, he said in a text message, get this. No, he didn't say get this. I'm telling you to get this. He said, when I stab someone, I'm going to lick the blood off the blade. He texted that the day that he shoved the knife into the chest of Austin Metcalf. If I was Carmelo Anthony, I'd be like, I'm good. I don't want to hear that in court. And then they're saying the reason that he didn't testify is because they didn't trust the other side not to release this information. Well, that's no cause for another trial. A, I don't know how they entered into this gentleman's agreement. B, I don't know why they entered into this gentleman's agreement or how, because I would think if I'm the prosecution, that statement is pretty damn important. But the word around Frisco, Texas is they didn't want it to get out that Metcalf was a racist, and you got to see why. Because this thing was already boiling racial problems. Can you imagine if the black community had that card in their deck? And he was a racist. He was trying to get Carmelo. You know what I'm saying? But how the prosecution didn't allow, when I stab someone, I'm going to lick the blade of the knife. How they didn't let that in, I have no idea. So even if he gets another trial, which I doubt, I think they got more evidence this time than they did the first time. Just that statement alone. And I'm like, I'm ready. Let's go. Let's go find him guilty. Quick time out, back half of the hour. Don't go anywhere. It's the Ralph Bailey Show.
With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. The Supreme Court is allowing the White House to continue construction on President Trump's $400 million White House ballroom project for now. Chief Justice John Roberts signed a temporary order on Friday letting work continue as the court considers an emergency appeal from Trump's Republican administration. Authorities say a plane that crashed at a remote military site in Alaska, killing all 8 people on board, was making its second runway approach in heavy fog when it lost contact. The National Transportation Safety Board says the Cessna's 2 pilots could not see the gravel airstrip and were flying solely by instruments when the plane crashed Thursday. On Wall Street, the Dow by 517 points, the Nasdaq rose 113, the S&P advanced 33. More details at srnnews.com.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN. Headlines from the KERN Newsroom.
I'm Bob Archer. A semi-truck fire caused a major backup on the northbound 5 this morning. The truck caught fire shortly before 1, forcing all northbound lanes to close for a while. One lane had reopened by 9 this morning, but traffic was still backed up for miles. Drivers heading north through the Grapevine today should check current conditions before leaving. Bakersfield police are looking for a man they want to question about a South Bakersfield home burglary in which about $135,000 in cash and property was stolen. Police say several people broke into a home on Coburn Street earlier this month. Detectives have released a photo of a man they want to talk to. And curling centers are open until 8 tonight. Its Bakersfield reaches about 102 today. I'm Rob Archer in the Kern newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
First Look with Scott Cox, morning 6 to 9 a.m.
Hey folks, Scott Cox here from the First Look program. I'm taking myself a well-deserved vacation, so enjoy these stylings of whatever idiot they conned into thinking filling in for me would count toward their community service requirements. I'll be back on Monday, bright and early, 6 to 9, right here at News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Hey folks, Scott Cox here, host of the First Look with Scott Cox radio program. You are listening to the Ralph Bailey Show right here on News.
Time it's in my knee, and unfortunately I think I know the culprit, and it breaks my freaking heart. You know what it is? I have come to the conclusion.
Gotta be something at Lawson's.
No.
Oh?
Where else have I eaten this week?
Coconut Joe's?
No. I mean, yes, but no. Where else have I eaten this week?
Casey Steakhouse?
And what do I order at Casey's Steakhouse?
Ralph Bailey?
What comes on the chicken breast that I order?
Ooh, the spinach and mushroom sauce.
It has to be. It has to be. Because you're right. I had Coconut Joe's chicken and rice Tuesday. I had Lawson's chicken and rice and mac and cheese Monday. It's so funny. Lawson's is keeping me healthy and killing me at the same time. Because the chicken and the brown rice and the black beans, and then I have to spoil it by getting mac and cheese and the penne pasta, which is driving my A1C up. And every single time I go to the buffet, I'm like, don't do it, Ralph. It's calling me, though. Look at the green pesto sauce and the peas. Don't do it, Ralph. I'm not eating candy. I literally argue with myself at the buffet, and I lose the argument. Give me that pesto. What's the matter with you? I don't care. I'm gonna die young anyway. Who cares? But it's the creamy sauce they put on the chicken breast that I love so much. It has to be. It has to be. Because it started I had it Wednesday night. It started, remember I said I was a little gouty yesterday and I didn't take my I think I blew off like my 5 and 5:30 walk.
Right.
And then I got about 3 hours sleep last night. It hit me, and it's the kind of gout. There are two kind of gouts that I get. I get the gout where it just impedes my walking, which is a pain in the ass, and it hurts when I walk. And then there's this, where it hurts all the time. And I literally got about 3 hours sleep, where I'd sleep for an hour and it'd wake me up. Because it's fine when it's in my knee, it's fine when my knee is straight, but it's when my knee bends. And I challenge you tonight to try to sleep for 6-7 hours with your knee completely straight. It's an absolute impossibility. And every time I move my knee, it's like literally, it's like a knife going into my patella. And so I woke up like 3 or 4 different times. Finally, at about 5:30, I just said, screw it. I'm going to watch the 17 News and start my day. The hell. But the CBD oil has got me. Check that out. Wow. That's a whole lot better than it was before I started putting this stuff on this morning. I'll tell you that, Jack. So shout out to my guys at Highway 99 Collective. And I'm still enjoying my birthday present. And I probably will be until like October. Chris is just shaking his head. That's so, I never get anything for my birthday. You didn't get it? Didn't you just have a birthday?
Yep, in June.
Did they hook you up?
Nope. They don't love me like they love you guys. I get it. It's okay.
Because you don't, do you know the guys? Do you talk to them?
I mean, not that much, not unless they're here.
See, I talked to them. I met the dad. I met the brother.
I've met them multiple times.
Yeah.
When they've walked in here, I've met them multiple times.
Oh, they hooked me up for my birthday, Jack. They hooked me up.
Is what it is. Again, I've been a customer for a while, so I'll continue to be one, I guess.
They're great guys. They really are. And yes, I'm wearing a black t-shirt, but it's not theirs. I'll turn around for you, but it's not theirs. Oh, it's from this is from Minter. This is from Minter Field. And it's filthy. I dragged it on something. You see that?
Oh yeah, you did.
I don't know what I dragged.
You rubbed up against something.
Yeah. I think that's my apartment. I think that's the walls of my apartment.
Possible.
But what are you gonna do? You know what? I ran into my damn neighbor last night.
Did you really?
And I got inside, closed the door, and I was like, damn! And then I opened the door and she was already in her apartment. But last time we left Mr. Bailey's complex, he was not complaining. I was just observing that one of my neighbors, who's a lovely woman, she's like my favorite neighbor. She minds her business. She doesn't have a lot of people coming and going. She's been there almost as long as I've been there. And she's about my age. I think she's a little bit younger. I think she's probably in her mid, well, let me not tell the woman's age. But she's got a flashing light on her porch. And we talked about it yesterday. In fact, we had a guy call in with his own theory. What was his theory? That she has an adapter that makes it do that?
Yeah, like some certain, which is true. A lot of these lights now have adapters or like links to an app and stuff like that
Yeah.
that you have to set up. So maybe that's what it is. It's a smart light.
Yeah.
But
she has her porch light goes on, off, on, off, on, off. And she was passing as I was coming home last night. And I just said, hi, how you doing? Good to see you. And I walked in, and as soon as I closed my door, I was like, God dog it. I should have asked her. What the hell are you doing with that damn light? 842-5376, 842-KERN. So Mr. Swalwell's going to prison. He's going to prison. They stopped him in the San Francisco International Airport. He is being accused by several women of sexual misconduct. And of course, this follows the Fang Fang issue where he was sleeping with a Chinese spy. And as I said at the top of the show, Kevin McCarthy was on a lot of the morning shows, at least on Fox, taking a victory lap, because it was McCarthy, one of the early politicians, who pointed this out and was willing to say it out loud. And then Fox, after the McCarthy interview, Fox ran a compilation. And this is why we have no faith in politics. This is why we have so much apathy when it comes to turnout in the vote, because they had a compilation of the highest members of the party supporting this guy, absolutely supporting this guy. Oh, these allegations against Congressman Swalwell are ridiculous. This is the Republican Party just trying to smear him. They've got their own problems with Trump, so now they're trying to pass it off on Swalwell. And just one after the shift coming. Oh, I've known Eric Swalwell. He is not capable of the things that he's been charged with. I will stand up for him anytime I can. Blah, 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 blah. Just like the Graham Plattner situation, just like the Joe Biden situation. And that's why we have no faith in these people, because they lie through their teeth. They'll say whatever they have to do. They'll do whatever they have to do to gain power. Public service is dead. It's all about power. It's even illustrated here locally, where the city council has become a simple stepping stone, period, end of sentence. It's a part-time gig where guys get in there and they want to get FaceTime. They want to be on 17, 29, and 23 to get their name recognition up so they can run for supervisor or assembly or state senate or whatever the hell, and really get their political careers running. That's really what it's all about. It's not about the service to this community, because if it is, they're failing miserably. We have one of the most incompetent municipal governments in the great state of the 58 counties in this damn state. The leadership of this community sometimes is amazing. Or should I say the former state, because on the other side, the county supervisors, those leaders, are talking about separating the state. They are literally contemplating, not that they have the final say or any say for that matter, but they're talking about next Wednesday formulating a letter where they take a position and send it to Sacramento where they want to split the state in half. The most powerful, the most economic state, an economy that is bigger than most countries, literally. Like, if we were just a nation, we'd be the fourth greatest economy in the world, and you want to split that up. And what is shocking, I found out this morning, that one of the smartest cats in this town is the one that started the idea, was Stan Ellis. Stan, the man, you know I love you, but have you gone crazy? Have you lost your rockers? Huh? What did I say? Lost your rockers? Mixed metaphor of Montreal, Bailey? They want to split the state in half. And the worst part, the best part of the state, they want to give to the liberals. Have you looked at the counties that we get? Shafter County, not city, because I'd love to live in Shafter. County, or is it Shasta? Might be Shasta. I don't know. Eureka. We get all the inland counties. We get all the Central Valley. Isn't that great? That's what I want to be a part of. A state what is like just the Central Valley. And the reasoning is because our needs are different from theirs. So we're going to give up our electoral college advantage. We're going to give up the greatest economy in the world. And we're going to give all the coastline to the liberals. Like, what if they say, you're prohibited from coming into our state? What if there's a civil war in the great state of California? I just think it's the biggest numbskull effort or even implication to even imply that we're going to tear up the most populous state in the nation. It's about as dumb a thing as I have ever heard. But it was McCarthy that booted Swalwell off the Intel committee. And again, it goes to show you the shame of Nancy Pelosi, because in the interview this morning where McCarthy was taking the much deserved, I'm not bagging on Kevin about this, it's a much deserved victory lap, because he really was one of the first to come out and say, not only is he sleeping with a Chinese spy, but he's compromised. And he did note today in his interview, Nancy Pelosi was in the same skiff that I was in. And she got the same down low information that I received. And in fact, McCarthy said, in the skiff, I turned to Pelosi and said, how can you keep him on the Intel committee? And then when the Republicans took power, first thing Kevin did was to boot him off of it, which was the appropriate thing to do. You've been compromised. It's not the first time it's happened. It happened to John Kennedy. During the war, Kennedy was sleeping with a Swedish spy. We'll never know whether he knew about it, but Joe, the patriarch, came and covered it up and got him out of hot water. And then he went off into the Pacific and the Solomon Islands, became a hero. So nobody ever talked about it ever again, because his adventures on PT 109 overwhelmed that. And then he lost a brother as well. But it's happened, and this is, we need to get used to this. The Chinese are here. They're our enemy. If you've been following the news, what was it, 2, 3, 4, 5 months ago, that the mayor of Arcadia, the city where Santa Anita is located, one of the greatest horse tracks on the planet, the mayor of Arcadia was a Chinese spy? They're buying up our farmland in the Montana area and the Dakotas. They're here. They're our, I think, biggest worry. That's why Darlene Graham, Lindsey Graham's sister, trying to keep her brother's Senate seat, not being able to answer the Taiwan question in the debate the other night, was kind of damning. Trump came to her rescue today brilliantly. He just said what I said and said, hey, look, I thought it was refreshing. It was a politician being honest. And if you listen to what she said, Trump said, she said she wants to support the military. And of course, Trump had to add, and she's going to support me. So she's going to support whatever I want to do with Taiwan. So it's a moot point. But at the bottom line, she said she's going to support the military, and that's what I'm for, and blah, 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 blah. He might be able to save her bacon. But Ralph Norman, the congressman going up against her, is a pretty popular guy down there in my daddy's home state, the Palmetto State. Chris, you know what a palmetto is?
I actually don't.
It's a tree. It's like a palm tree. It's a southern palm tree.
Palmetto?
Palmetto. Palmetto. Palmetto, the Palmetto State, South Carolina. Quick time out. They're all over the state. Beautiful trees. South Carolina, Georgia, the South. The one thing, if you've never been there, that you will find, it's one of the first things when I took my then girlfriend down there when we buried my dad. It's incredibly green. Just trees everywhere, brush everywhere. Everybody talks about, I want to go to Europe, I want to go to Spain, I want to go to Greece. See America. Go visit the South. Go to Savannah, particularly if you're an historian or a history buff. Go see Savannah. Go see parts of South Carolina. Florida, you can have it. Orlando, I guess, for the kids, but Go to D.C. I'd do maybe a day or two in New York. I'd hit San Francisco if I you. If you've never been. New Orleans is another must-see. Just saying. Quick timeout. Started heading into the 5. We'll check the board when we come back. And again, nobody in the chat room chatting. But in the meantime, you're listening to The Ralph Bailey Show on Newstalk 96.1 AM 1230, and we're streaming live at kernradio.com.
Kern Radio.
Luigi's.
N. Maxwell in the morning. Good till the last mic drop.
Cam Newton, he claims that there were players, coaches, and execs that told people that they got the COVID shot, but they really didn't. And he was defending Aaron Rodgers over his recent statements on ESPN. What Cam Newton is saying is that he has a right to be upset just because he didn't get this COVID shot, because there are those people who didn't get the shot either.
Weekdays 9 to noon. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. KERN.
Looks like a no golf weekend for the gout victim, but that opens up my Saturday. And you know what that means? That means I'm going to start with the truffles. I always do. And then I'll probably end up maybe doing the Monty burger with a side of white pasta. But I'm going to start in the deli. That's what I always tell you guys, start in the delicatessen. And I saw Gino pumping up some wines. You know, I always say go in there and talk to Lynette, his sister, who's a great sommelier, and she's big on Italian wines. But I forgot about the Luigi wines. Go look for some great table wines that the Valprados produce right in the deli. They're great wines. Totally forgot about that. And mentioning that, you should check out some of the vignettes that Gino and some of his staff are doing on Instagram and Facebook. They're outstanding. In fact, some of them, Gino actually walks you through some of the dishes. And as I've always told you, if you're a foodie, the deli is the place for you. Where would you rather be on a really hot weekend with the misters on the back side of the restaurant, air conditioning inside, rather than Luigi's Restaurant and Old World Delicatessen, longtime sponsor of the Ralph Bailey Show.
Are you craving a mouth-watering sandwich just packed with flavor? Then look no further than Caesar's Deli, where they craft some of the best sandwiches in town. Sink your teeth into our signature classic, Caesar's Special, featuring 2 kinds of salami, premium ham, and the irresistible taste of Nona's secret meat sauce. It's a sandwich experience that you won't forget. That's not the only sandwich they offer. No. Satisfy your cravings with a savory smoked turkey sandwich, or indulge yourself with the loaded pastrami. Or for the adventurous eater, they offer pickled tongue. And here's the best part. Caesar's Deli has incredible lunch specials that are designed to fill you up without emptying your wallet. Plus, did you know that Caesar's Deli has a full-service deli offering a variety of over 60 meats and cheeses? It's a sandwich lover's paradise, and that's why Caesar's Deli has been a local favorite and proudly serving Bakersfield since 1971. Visit Caesar's Deli today and taste the difference for yourself. Located at the corner of Brimhall and Callaway, behind the beautiful water fountain.
Do you owe back taxes or have unfiled tax returns? The IRS won't quit until they get your money. Here's great news, fresh from those in the know. Major changes have happened at the IRS. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a 99% reduction of what you owe. Haven't filed a return for a while? Their happy clients are talking.
The IRS was going to levy my bank account, but Guardian was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues. Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Need relief from crushing tax debt? The IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax knows all about them. Personal or business, this is the fresh new brick you've been hoping for.
We aren't the company you call when you need a hug because you're scared of the IRS. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really help me out. I'd recommend them highly.
Call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-499-5351. 800-499-5351. 800-499-5351.
Results may vary. Hey, it's JR Flores. Catch my show, The JR Show, starting at 1 p.m. Now back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Genius. Crazy as a bedbug. Erykah Badu. Crazy as a bedbug. She almost went to jail in Dallas. She did a video. Have you ever seen this video that she did at the Dealey Plaza? Where she literally went to, why they do this? I guess you have to. But there's an ex. I've never been there. I've been to Dallas, but I've never been to Dealey Plaza where the president was shot. November 22nd, 1963, at about 1:20 Central Time. There is a X on the street by the billboard where he was fatally shot, which just seems tacky to me. I don't know. But I guess if you want to know the exact spot where the man died, technically that'd be Parkland Hospital, but all right, fine, put an X there. Well, Erykah Badu did a video where she's naked dancing at the very spot where the president is killed. And as you can imagine, because she had to do it in the middle of the day, she can do it at night, do it kind of subtly, and do it in the middle of the day. And it caused quite a stir, as one might imagine, in Dallas. And damn near went to jail. Her manager got her out of it. But that's on my bucket list. Mike Trahey, I was talking to him fairly recently. He's been down there. And it's like everything. It's like the House of Representatives, or if you've ever been like to Burbank Studios, where Johnny Carson used to do his show. It always looks bigger on television. The House of Representatives is the same thing. I've been there a couple of times now with Honor Flight, and the president, when he looks up and sees Melania, whoever the president is, he looks up at his guests, you would think that's like hundreds of yards away, when in fact, he could probably throw a football to her. It's that close, about 40, 50 yards maybe. And it's just a very tight room. Anyway, 842-5376, 842-KER, and what else you got on the board?
The Two Brothers Detective Show was Simon and Simon.
Simon and Simon. That was a good show. I liked that show. I didn't like the other guy, but I liked Gerald, whoever Rick Bentley said his last name was. And he was married to, not Della Reese. Did I say Della Reese? Because Della Reese is a black woman. Who was he married to? She was on that Southern show. That Southern show with the one black guy and the beauty pageant winner. Or was he married to the beauty pageant winner? No, he's married to the older lady. Lisa's asking me. Oh, I forgot I put my thing on silent.
Saying here, Heart of Dixie?
Is that the name of it?
I don't think so, but no, this is way too recent.
Lisa's asking me, do you use solid deodorant and put it on before you put on your shirt? Oh, she thinks that's what that is.
That's
you know
a good
what?
way. Yeah.
That does kind of look like my Arid Extra Dry. It
Is it
really
white?
does. It's white as hell. Can y'all see
I'm
that?
sorry, I meant your deodorant. Is your
Yeah.
deodorant white?
Yeah,
that's probably exactly what it is.
I bet that's what it is. Nice call, Lisa, our associate producer. That's why she's our associate producer. But how did it get down there? I don't know. I don't know what that is. What else you got? One more.
Let's see. Out of all of our city council people, we need to get rid of Bob Smith.
I concur.
He has done nothing except to profit from his position.
I absolutely agree. We're going to have both the candidates on. I forget. One of them is Kathy's guy. We're going to have him on. I just want to wait a little bit because once I start doing candidates, then we got to get them all on. There are only two in that race. It's just Bob Smith and Kathy's guy, who is, please stand by. Delta Burke and Designing Women. Thank you, producer.
Was the next one that popped up.
She should just sit in here. She could do her traffic stuff sitting right there. Couldn't
Yeah,
she?
we give her a laptop.
Put a laptop right there. She can do her traffic stuff and just be like, Delta Burke, Rob. I love that show. Not really. I watched it, though. But Simon and Simon, I did love. I didn't like his brother. But Gerald, whatever Rick said his last name is, the guy that was married to Delta Burke, he was a cool cat. I liked him a lot. He's in a couple of really good movies, too. Really good actor. And he had another series that he was in after Simon and Simon. And well, let's find out. Well, she's laughing. Lisa then would be that blonde from WKRP. Now, Chris Orr is chiming in. I believe the show was Designing Women, and I think it was married to Delta Burke. Yeah, we got that, Chris. Thank you. Lisa beat you to it, Chris. Final hour of the week. I'd stick around if I you.
Kern Radio, AM 1230, KERN. 96.1 FM, K241CI Bakersfield, an American General Media station.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. Vice President J.D. Vance returned to his hometown of Middletown, Ohio on Friday to campaign for Republican candidates at the steel plant where his grandfather used to work. Vice President Vance spoke highly of his grandfather who worked at the Cleveland Cliffs facility years ago.
He asked that his community be safe. He asked that our politicians ensure that there were good jobs for men and women who are willing to work for them. And he asked that America never be asked to be the policeman of the world. Now, he was my grandfather. I called him Papa, and he toiled in this very place to give our family the little extras, like I said, for nearly 4 decades.
Vance has highlighted his Rust Belt roots while trying to boost GOP candidates ahead of the November midterm elections. A Cessna 150 struck a Pennsylvania State Police helicopter during a training exercise at Carlisle Airport on Wednesday evening, killing the airplane's pilot and injuring 2 State Police aviation team members. National Transportation Safety Board Air Safety Investigator Aaron McCarter says they recovered data cards from both the plane and the helicopter.
We were able to get data cards off both the Cessna 150 and the helicopter, so that is very good news from a data standpoint. Hopefully we will be able to get additional information and data off the engine parameters of the Bell helicopter on Saturday.
The Cumberland County Coroner's Office identified the pilot as Paul Sokolowski, 57, of Hershey. Authorities believe he was the only person aboard the Cessna. Governor Josh Shapiro identified the injured state police members as Corporal Bryce Corman and Trooper Jason Mills. Both are expected to recover. On Wall Street, the Dow up by 517 points. The Nasdaq rose 113. The S&P 500 advanced 33. More at townhall.com.
With the high price of new and used cars today, many drivers are choosing to keep their vehicles a lot longer. But with the average car now over 12 years old, most manufacturers' warranties have expired. I'm Danica Patrick. If your car is out of warranty, a single trip to the mechanic could cost you thousands. That's why smart drivers choose Endurance. If your vehicle is less than 20 years old, no matter the mileage, Endurance could have your car covered for the drivetrain, electrical, AC, transmission, and more. And Endurance is with you every step of the way, from filing a claim to paying the mechanic of your choice directly. And your rate won't go up no matter how many claims you file. Call Endurance now and choose the plan that fits your budget. Act now and get 1 year of elite benefits, a $2,000 value free.
For your fast free quote, call 800-303-4223. 800-303-4223. 800-303-4223.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update.
Police are asking for help finding a woman who has been missing for more than 2 weeks. I'm Bob Archer. Alicia Norman was last seen August 6th near Buena Vista Road and White Lane. Police say she is considered at risk and may need help. Anyone who has seen her or knows where she is should get in touch. A northbound 5 semi-truck fire created a Grapevine traffic jam this morning. The fire shut down all northbound lanes for a while. One lane had reopened by 9 this morning, but traffic was still backed up toward Fraser Mountain Road. Drivers heading through the area today should check conditions before they leave. The mission at Kern County is changing how it approaches homelessness and addiction. Instead of moving people straight into housing, the mission says it's putting treatment and recovery first. The program focuses on getting people sober, into counseling and job training, then helping them move into stable housing. Mission leaders say too many people cycle back onto the streets when addiction and mental health problems are not dealt with first. A Bakersfield gun store is drawing attention in a statewide review of guns later recovered by police. State data shows 83 guns recovered by Bakersfield police from 2023 through 25 were traced back to Turner's Outdoorsman on Mohawk Street. Police say they're not aware of any illegal sales at the store, and a traced gun does not mean the dealer broke the law. The heat stays with us this afternoon. Bakersfield reaching about 102 with cooling centers open until 8 tonight in East Bakersfield, Arvin, Frazier Park, and Lake Isabella. Anyone who needs a free ride to a cooling center can call 211. I'm Rob Archer in the current newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
To the rest of in a month from now, this Hollywood Big Shot's going to give you what you want. Too late. They start shooting in a week. I'm going to make them an offer again with you.
The Ralph Bailey Show. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
And I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land.
Call in or text to 661-842-KERN. That's 661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com. Now, the host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
Final hour of the broadcast. Final hour of the week as we wrap up another 5 days of outstanding radio broadcasting. Right here on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, where we stream live at KERNradio.com and stream live on YouTube. If you missed Elaine Solon and Debbie Anton talking about the Greek Food Festival fundraiser coming up September 12th, you can go back tonight on YouTube, go back to the 3:30 segment or the 4 o'clock segment and watch that. Or if you missed Mr. Bentley, I want to see him talk about Hayden Panettiere and whatever else we talked about, go back to the 3:30 aspect of the broadcast as well. Dodgers wrapped up their road trip with a sweep of the Colorado Rockies. We've been beating the teams we're supposed to beat. We swept the Kansas City Royals as well. We were beating up on the bad teams, but it's a little problematic with the good teams. We're not doing as well. We got swept by Boston, damn near got swept by the Milwaukee Brewers. The good news is we're 2.5 games up on the Braves for the second spot. It would keep us out of a 3-game playoff. And I think we're 4.5 games up on the Cubs, and your Phillies are 9 games out. So we're not really worried about Philly. But Atlanta and Chicago still causing some concern, because the last thing we want to do is fall in that third position, then have to play the best of a 3-series wild card. It's just not, no.
That's fine.
So,
We're just taking the long route around. That's all it is. We're taking the long route.
are you guys assured a spot
No.
right now? Like if the end of today, would you be in the playoffs?
Yes. Yeah, we're second wild card team.
So how many
Guppies
teams
are first.
How many teams are going to go in out of the NL?
6. I believe.
Obviously, the Dodgers and the Brewers.
Dodgers, Brewers, but only if it ended today, Brewers would get the bye. You guys would go. No, actually, no. 2 buys?
2 buys.
2 buys.
First
So, yeah,
2.
so both of you would get the bye then, and then
the Braves and the Cubs.
Braves would play Cubbies, exactly. And
They would
we
play in the
Padres.
3-game deal.
I think it's a 1-gamer. Give me a sec.
Is it a one and done? No, we've never played in any of those. It's a 2 out of 3, right?
Let's see.
You just
Each league seeds 3 divisional, blah, 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 best of 3.
So then it would be Braves, Cubs in the best of 3.
Yeah.
And then Phillies, Padres best
Phillies,
of 3.
Padres, yeah.
And that's the whole playoffs of the National League. And then we would play the winner of.
If I'm right, it'd be the
Braves, Cubs.
Right. And then we
Milwaukee
would
would play the Phillies.
Milwaukee if we make that far. But
the National League is interesting.
It is.
It really is. And so is the AL, for that matter. It really, really is. I mean, Boston and the Yankees are still in the mix, are they not?
They are, I believe.
Tampa's in the mix. I don't really follow the American League. The White Sox are still in the conversation.
They're leading right now, if I'm not mistaken.
Are they really?
Yeah, they're top of their division last time I checked.
Are they really? Which, again, destroys your Dodger argument, your money argument, destroys it. Because the White Sox ain't spending any money. They lost 120 games just 2 seasons ago, and now they're atop of their division. And the Brewers don't spend any money, ever, and they're always in the conversation. The Braves don't have a tremendous pool of dough, and neither do the Cubs, for that matter. But yet the Yankees are struggling. The Mets are struggling. They've got a guy they're paying $720 million. They're paying Soto more than we're paying Shohei Ohtani. And they're not even in the playoff conversation. Now, don't get me wrong. None of this evidence is going to stave off a shutout or a lockout in December. The owners want a salary cap badly. As I've talked about, there should be a salary basement. There should be a minimum of what each club has to reinvest into their ball club, because that is truly the problem. These clubs are making money. Don't mistake that. Baseball's never been as popular. Never. I don't think even during the McGuire-Sosa season was baseball as popular as it is now. I really don't believe that. I think Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge and these guys are a bigger draw than even that crazy summer following Sosa and McGuire. And the ratings pointed out. I mean, we're coming off of, arguably, at least in my lifetime, I always rank the Oakland series as the greatest World Series just because we had no business winning that damn thing and we won it. And it was started with the Kirk Gibson thing. And we forget Kirk Gibson never played again in that World Series. You forget that. He had one swing and that was it. But we're coming off, arguably, not arguably, irrefutably, one of the greatest World Series in the history of baseball. I mean, how many different times did the Toronto Blue Jays almost take the trophy? I'm talking about from Game 6 to Game 7. I mean, bad base running, some really good Dodger luck, balls lodging in the fence, guys not getting big enough leads, Will Smith getting his foot back down, Miggy Rojas coming off the bench and hitting a home run in front of Shohei. I thought George Culver, we had George on earlier in the week. If you missed it, again, you can go on YouTube and go back and watch our discussion with former Dodger George Culver, an author, great book. Go get George's book, The Earl of Oildale, How Did This All Happen to Me? Great read. It really is. I've read it like 1.5 times. Second time I started reading it, I was on a plane and I didn't finish it, but I've read it almost twice. And George came on here and made a really poignant comment that I have silently believed, but haven't said on this show, and I don't hear anybody else saying it. Shohei has not been a clutch hitter this year. Yeah, he's hitting .295. Yes, he's got 30 home runs, but I still disagree with having him in the leadoff position. I really do, because I think he's got like 15 leadoff home runs, which means that's 1 RBI. And he's got 80 ribbies. And I'm just thinking, if he's in the 3 or 4 hole, granted, he's not going to get as many at-bats, but he's certainly going to knock in more runs. But George was saying he's not a clutch hitter. And he does strike out a lot and ground out into double plays a lot when there are runners in scoring position. Unlike last year when, you know, they were almost at the Barry Bonds point with him last year, where it was just like, just walk him because he's going to knock in these runs. It's really Freddie and Max Muncy and Andy Pajes who have been the big RBI guys who are coming through in the clutch. But to me, the biggest hole and the biggest concern is not the bullpen, because I think Tanner Scott's going to pull this out. I know I was on him like I was Kenley Jansen last year. I was all over him. But I've said from the get-go from this season, he looks faster with his fastball. He's spotting it better. And that little slider that he's got that comes in on right-handed batters and away from left-handed batters, is good. You know, the home run that he gave up a couple of nights ago, I rewound that a couple of times. That's a great pitch. You know, sometimes you just got to tip your hat to the guy. You know, if you put it damn on his freaking laces and he golfs it out of the stadium, sometimes you just got to say, you're the better man on this pitch, because Tanner threw a really good pitch and a really good spot and just got beat. You know, my problem with Diaz was he was throwing 94, 95 mile per hour fastballs right down the heart of the plate. And you can't get major league batters out with strikes. You can't. You can't. You've got to watch the game tonight. And I guarantee you the majority of the strikeouts will be guys chasing. You got to get up in the count. You tease them high and then you go low, or you tease them low and then you go high, or you get them chasing where the other side of the batter's box. But you're not going to fool a lot of Major League Baseball players throwing strikes. You're just not. You got to get up on the count early. That's when you pound the strike zone. And then with 2 strikes, you get them out with the ball. And like we said yesterday, I don't think Edwin Diaz is injured. We'll find out tonight when Kristen Watson addresses us. You guys watch the pregame? I always fast forward. I get through Joe and the boys, or sometimes the radio guy, and I see the lovely Kirsten Watson. Can I say something inappropriate just out of nowhere? Don't shake your head. Relax. I won't draw you into it. Yes, I am drawing you into it.
Of course.
Think she's a lesbian? Because, like, you know, I follow her, and there's not a man in the picture. And whenever she goes on vacation, she goes with her girls. And not that that makes you a lesbian, but this is a good. Do you know Kristen Watson? Y'all know Kristen Watson. The tall black girl, she's about 5'10", 5'11". Gorgeous girl. I got to meet her. I didn't meet her, but I got to see her in person back on Jackie Robinson Day. Beautiful girl. But she doesn't have a man. Damn near 30. That gorgeous with that great a job in Los Angeles? You know, I would think she'd be dating like a Laker. You know what I mean? She's 5'10", 5'11". Are you looking her up? Oh.
No, I'm sorry. I was filling out an email.
Oh.
I know of who you speak. Man, a lot of these women, though, aren't, say these women, like women in the media, aren't really showing off boyfriends lately.
You're not the one to talk about this with, because you've only been here 3 decades. But it just seems to me, as one who's been here 6, is it me, or has lesbianism become incredibly popular? Or were all these ladies just in the closet? Think about it. Like, 3/4 of the WNBA are lesbians. Like, where did all these lesbians come from? Because I've been to the meetings as a fellow lesbian. I've been to the meetings, and they were never coming till recently. I'm just, you know, it's a Friday. I'm just throwing things out there. Don't you get a sense for that, though? That more women are willing to, you know, one time at band camp, one time in college, we were at our dorm and we were taking shots and, you know. Because, I mean, on a certain level, it's the same thing. In fact, they're probably better at it than we are.
Oh, yeah, they definitely are.
You think?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I'm pretty damn gifted. Pretty damn gifted. So I've been told. You have to enjoy what you're doing is the key.
Right. Absolutely.
That's the key.
That is the key.
But do you get a sense, and I know at 31 it's hard for you to say, but do you get a sense that there are more lesbians today than 10, 15 years ago?
I think you could say that, yeah.
I
But I
really
also
do.
think it's because it's more accepted these
So they're
days
just
than it
more
was.
open. They've always
it's much
been
more
lesbian.
open.
They're just more open about it.
Yeah. Because again, I also feel like there are more gay people out there these days than there were back then. But again, I feel like it's just because more people feel comfortable coming out.
Well,
than they did back then.
we always had gay men.
Yes, 100%. They've always been here. But I'm just saying that.
And for
more
whatever
people now-
reason, it's easier to spot a gay man, particularly back in the day. Not today, but back in the day. That's what I could never understand. Why do you have to be effeminate just because you want sex differently? Or does sodomy make you feminine? It's an adult show. Relax. Just talking about sex. Get over yourselves. Let's go ahead and take a break before I get myself into trouble. One of my favorite stories. I'm going to see the girl I'm dating in Long Beach. And she lived in a security building. Beautiful area, Long Beach. And so I was a little bit early. She was a beautiful girl. I was a little anxious. And that was a long drive from Inglewood. I was driving my grandfather's pink Cadillac. I really was, that Eldorado. God, I hated that, and then I started to love it. My dad bought my grandfather an old pink Eldorado back in the 70s. And when my grandfather died, my uncle just parked it in his driveway. And when my Nissan broke down, I started driving my grandfather's pink Cadillac. And the first month that I drove it, I hid. I was so embarrassed. And then all of a sudden, I don't know how, but I started to like it. I started to like the big Eldo. The white interior, the pink. And this thing was a boat. I mean, double parking that thing was a bizarre-each. I started to dig the old Cadillac. But what was I talking about? Where was I going?
Honestly, this one, I'm not sure.
No, what were we just talking about?
We were just talking about sex, technically, but...
Oh, Long Beach.
Oh, right.
Going out to Long Beach, and I get there too early in my pink Cadillac, and literally the bar across the street was called the Silver Fox, not owned by Rod Crawford. I go to the Silver Fox, and I'm talking to this butchy lesbian woman, and she looks at me and she goes, "You have no idea where you are, do you?" "Oh yeah, I'm on the nice side of Long Beach." And she said, "Look around, dummy. You're the only woman in here." "Yeah." "Oh, this is a gay bar?" And I got all excited. I really did. I'm not a homosexual. You don't care if you believe that or not, but I was just like, "Oh yeah, look at them. They're like damn near kissing. Oh, this is cool. I've never been in a and that's why I always would give my guys crap, Oscar and them, when we used to hang out at the Padre before it became the Padre. They would literally park their cars up the street because a lot of gay kids hung out at the old Padre, and they perceived it as a gay bar. And I was like, "No, you ain't been to a gay bar. I'll take you to West Hollywood. I'll take you to Long Beach. I'll show you a gay bar is where there are no women in the bar." The Padre, the old Padre, was a rummy bar where the gay kids kind of hung out at night. That's all. And Oscar and them, I swear to God, would park their car up by the Fox. Homophobia amongst minorities, I'm telling you. Quick time out. Wrapping this thing up on a Friday. It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 AM 1230. We're streaming live at kernradio.com.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN. Maxwell in the morning. Good till the last mic drop.
You do know the misnomer on that. When they say it's a greenhouse gas, they're not talking about how if you have a greenhouse, that inside the greenhouse, because of the growth of the plants or anything, that you have a concentration of carbon dioxide. It's a greenhouse gas because they know if they pump carbon dioxide into a greenhouse, things grow better. So you learned something today.
Weekdays 9 to noon, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
Look, folks, you already know that your garage door is a very important part of your home, from the overall look of the place to the safety and security it provides. So obviously, you should only trust the service, repair, and maintenance of your garage door to the pros at King Door Company. Their skill and product knowledge are unmatched in the industry, and that's no accident. The techs at King Door are rigorously trained at the King Door Academy. That's right. King Door has an in-house training facility to make sure your job is done right on the first try. They're trained in all the latest equipment, tools, and techniques. They even learn how to listen to customer concerns through role-playing exercises. And you'll see how well all this training works when they show up right on time in fully stocked service trucks with all the parts and equipment to service or repair any garage door. Like I said, your garage door is a very important part of your home, so leave it to the pros at King Door Company. Schedule your appointment today at kingdoor.com. King Door Company, the company with the pride of a lion.
I felt a jackhammering pain in my jaw.
Like someone sawing my bones. Barbed wire in my shoulder.
Like a cattle prod in my hip.
Like I put my foot in a blender. Pain is different for everyone. But where pain starts, Journavx suzetrigine begins. Journavx is a non-opioid 50 milligram prescription tablet for adults with moderate to severe acute pain that reduces pain signals before they reach the brain. Before those signals tell the brain to feel
Like I punched an angry beehive.
and pain reduction can finally begin. Do not take Journavx with CYP3A inhibitors. Avoid use with grapefruit or liver problems as these may increase side effects. Tell your doctor about all your medicines if you are pregnant or breastfeeding. Journavx may make certain medicines and birth control less effective. Side effects include itching, muscle spasms, rash, and elevated muscle enzymes. To learn more about Journavx, ask your doctor. Call 1-833-589-PAIN or visit journavx.com.
On BritBox, your next hidden gem is right around the corner.
If you're going to be bold, here is the place to do it.
Get ready for Britain's most anticipated series, streaming exclusively on BritBox. Catch new seasons of favorites, including Ludwig, starring David Mitchell.
You want someone to get murdered?
And the eagerly awaited new adaptation of Agatha Christie's iconic detective duo, Tommy and Tuppence.
Do you think we're actually really good at this?
Stream the best of British TV on BritBox. Watch with a free trial.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids Max Strength. Its dual-active formula has 1,500 milligrams of calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolaids spells powerful relief. 1,500 milligrams is our highest amount of antacid per tablet. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Hey folks, Scott Cox here, host of the First Look with Scott Cox radio program. You are listening to the Ralph
now. I don't care. She put on a few pounds. I don't mind. I like a big woman. Hey Siri, how old is, I almost said how big. How old is Shaka Khan?
Shaka Khan is 73 years old.
Marry her right now. She's 9 years older than I am. I don't give a damn. We grow old together. Take care of you. Get you, wipe your behind, wipe your booty, scrub your back, do whatever I got to do. Pick up your pills, whatever you got to do. Maybe that's the way I ought to go. I'm looking for 40-year-olds and 50-year-olds. Maybe I ought to look for 70-year-olds. You know what I'm saying?
Be the one at the end of their life.
It's just that soft skin. I'll never forget. I was like your age. No, I guess I was younger than that because it was in LA. And I used to hang out at this old club. And I picked up this woman. I was like 25, 26, and she was in her 40s. And she was an attractive woman. And we went back to her house, We were sitting on the couch, and I went to kiss her, and our faces rubbed, and I had a flashback to my grandmother. You know, that soft skin that older people, that I have now, that skin that's not taut, that gives when you rub up against it.
Yes.
And it freaked me out. And I literally, we're sitting on a couch, messing around, and I literally was like, I totally forgot I have to pick up my sister. I am so sorry. And jetted out of her house. And she was like, what the hell just happened? I was like, you felt like Sadie Bailey. That's what happened. And I got the hell out of there. What's the matter with you?
With us for our news, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. President Donald Trump has announced his administration will temporarily allow more beef imports into the U.S. without triggering higher tariffs. He said Friday the imported beef will be sold at 25% below current market rates to help American consumers. However, some conservative rural state Republicans are already criticizing the plan, fearing it will harm American ranchers. The Supreme Court is allowing the White House to continue construction on President Trump's $400 million White House ballroom project for now. Chief Justice John Roberts signed a temporary order on Friday letting work continue as the court considers an emergency appeal from the Trump administration. On Wall Street, the Dow up by 517 points. The Nasdaq rose 113. More details at SLNnews.com.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN. Headlines from the KERN newsroom.
I'm Rob Archer. Bakersfield police are asking for help finding a woman who has been missing for more than 2 weeks. Alicia Norman was last seen August 6th near Buena Vista Road and White Lane. Police say she is considered at risk. Anyone who has seen her or knows where she is should call Bakersfield police. The Bakersfield Fire and Police Departments are planning 2 public ceremonies next month for the 25th anniversary of the September 11th attacks. The first begins at 9:30 the morning of September 11th at the fire station on Buena Vista Road. An evening ceremony starts at 7:30 and will include a roll call honoring 27 Kern County residents who were called to duty. Cooling centers are open until 8 tonight in East Bakersfield, Arvin, Fraser Park, and Lake Isabella. I'm Rob Archer in the Kern Newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Ralph Bailey for Sangera Subaru to tell you the Subaru A Lot to Love event is going on right now at Sangera Subaru. This is the best time to get an incredible offer on a brand new 2026 Subaru, like a 2026 Outback Premium CVT. Lease one for $229 a month for 36 months with $5,017 due at signing. Offer ends August 31st, so stop by, see my good friends Damon Culbertson and Asad Levy during the Subaru A Lot to Love event. Pick out your new Subaru and hit the road. Sangera Subaru, paving the way for a better community. 5500 Gasoline Alley Drive in the Bakersfield Auto Mall, 24/7 at SangeraSubaru.com.
Lease a 2026 Outback Premium CVT for $229 a month plus tax for 36 months. Total payments $8,869. $5,017 due at signing. Includes first payment, excludes tax, title, license, and fees. Total lease cost $13,886, excluding tax and fees. TSRP $37,287. No security deposit required. Lease based on 7,500 miles per year, 15 cents per mile over. Available to qualified customers through Subaru Motor Finance Tier 1 SCA credit approval. Expires 8/31/26. Excludes optional products and dealer installed accessories. VIN number TY514370.
First Look with Scott Cox, morning 6 to 9 a.m.
Valley Plaza Mall has introduced a new preferred parking program to give shoppers the option of having a guaranteed upfront parking space in a section of the parking lot for a fee. And by the way, this is taken off all across the country. You want to park up close, you can, but you're going to have to pay for it.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
Hey, it's JR Flores. Catch my show, The JR Show, starting at 1 p.m. Now back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Back up off the wall. Tell me, how you gonna do it if you really don't want to dance? I'm hanging on the wall. Get your back up off the. I heard all the people say, get down on it. Come on and get down on it. Really love to get down on it. To young people and to old people alike, if I could give you any bit of advice in dealing with women, dance. Dance. Don't be that idiot that says, I need a couple of cocktails before I can dance, or, oh, I don't dance. If you go to a wedding, if you go to an event, if you go to something, dance. I'm telling you. I dodged a bullet because I do as I say, not as I do. But when I took Aaron to the Tiger fight, we were this close to shaking our booty, and then the band stopped. And I was like, thank you, Jesus. But I was going to dance, following my own advice, and then the band stopped playing. But this was on grass, and it was in front of a lot of people, and it just, dancing on grass is odd. You know? I don't know. 842-537-6842 KERN. Who you got?
Mike Hart.
Mike Hart. I left Mike Hart in San Francisco. Are we doing lunch tomorrow?
Dude, you got to stop.
What's that?
You got to stop.
Well, you got to tell me what it is for me to stop.
With the women.
What women?
Stop with the advice.
What women? That you should dance if you're with a woman?
No.
That's solid advice.
You're throwing all this advice out there. Stop.
What advice? What advice did I throw out there that was not sound advice?
It pains me.
What advice? What is he talking about?
Do you know that?
What show are you listening to?
Myself and so many other people, Ralph, want you to find someone and be happy. We just do.
What does that got to do with anything? What are you talking about? Have you been drinking, Mike?
No. Well, first, let's start with the Dodger gal, the announcer.
Oh, Kristen Watson? Why? Yeah. Just because I question whether she's lesbian or not?
No. Because at first I thought you were going to start sending her money, and then she wasn't going to pay you back.
That child is. Oh, that's not funny. Oh, that hurt, dude. Oh, you are.
I went a long way around just to come back.
You did. And payback is a bazitch because that hurt.
Oh, come on, no. I mean, you saved money with the other one. I mean, Kristen would have cost you a lot of dough.
I hadn't thought about that in weeks, and that really got to the kidney. Oh.
I really think you should go for the Shaka Khan.
Shaka Khan. So you think I should start hitting on 70-year-olds? Where do 70-year-olds go?
I don't know. But isn't 70 the new 35?
Hey, I'm staring at damn near in the mug.
Huh?
I'm staring it in the damn mug.
And how are you feeling and how are you doing than you were, let's just say 20 years ago?
This is a bad day to ask because I've got gout in my knee and it's starting to creep. Now, I was telling Chris, my ankle's starting to bother me.
And then you want to go to
other than that, why not? I don't have to walk anywhere. I'm sitting down and drinking vodka and eating pasta. What do I care? So I'm certainly not playing golf unless a miracle occurs, which just chaps my hide. But hopefully I'm ready by 6:30 Sunday morning.
Well, you don't have any magic elixir that can fix all this overnight, can it?
I've been taking this CBD oil that I'm holding up in my hand. If you're watching on YouTube, or you can go back and watch it. The guys from Highway 99 Collective. I've been doing that. And I forgot to pick up my colchicine. I ordered some colchicine and I didn't pick it up today. So I'll pick that up. Oh, today's Friday. Yeah, I'll pick that up tomorrow. I'll walk down there.
Okay.
But you went a long way to hurt a brother. You went a long way to hurt a brother.
That wasn't hurtful. That was a really loving shot. That was nothing but love behind that one.
God. Because I handle that whole.
That I'm allowed.
Yes, I'll give it to you. Somebody else I would have punched in the face, but you're right. I just handled that whole thing so badly. And I knew, you can ask Chris. You can ask Chris right from the get-go. I was like, I really don't even like her. But she's 44 years old, and I hate to be blunt, and this is what I told Chris. I don't know if I said it on the air. She looks great naked. And how many 44-year-olds can I get naked? Let's be blunt. It's an adult show, and it's 5:39 on Friday. Let's be honest. So I put up with a lot of stuff because she's young and she's smart, and we once dated, then we got along. But right from the get-go, I was complaining to all that would listen to me. I'm really not having a good time. I really don't like her, but better than sitting at home. And then the coup de grace when she went heels up at Bill Lee's. She got about 3/4 of the way through a Mai Tai, went to the bathroom, and came back and tried to sit in one of the chairs at the bar, and went heels up, Jack. And she played it off well. She climbed up off the floor, right? And she climbed back into her chair, and she said, "I told you it's been about 5 years since I've been drinking." I was like, "Yeah, apparently." But yeah, that was stupid. That's what you get when you're looking for just somebody young and good looking. She's not even that good looking anymore, to be honest with you. I can say that now.
You were saying, except when she's naked.
No, she doesn't look good naked. She doesn't look good naked.
Are you sure you're not taking that CBD oil right now?
No, but I might be drinking it in about 25 minutes. I'll tell you that, boy. I don't know what to do about this gout, Mike. I really don't. I really don't.
I don't know. Is drinking going to help it?
You think I should stop drinking for a while? Maybe it is the alcohol. My theory was always, I drink a lot. So if it were the alcohol, I'd have it all the time. It'd be constant, would it not?
Right. No, it would, but I thought you said it had something to do with shellfish.
Well, for me, it depends. Like we had this guy that used to work here, Drewski. For him, it was beer. For me, not so much. I'm not a beer drinker, but me, not so much. And red meat, for me, not so much. But sauces, shellfish are my two killers. I have two. If I go to Billy's tonight and have 2 pieces of shrimp, or I go to Casey's Steakhouse and have 2 pieces of a shrimp cocktail, I'm through. And I think now sauces, and I don't know how I'm stupid about this, but I put that mushroom and spinach sauce on my chicken breast at Casey's Steakhouse. Right. Yeah, and I think that's what it is, because I had that Wednesday. It started bugging me a little bit yesterday, and then last night it really kicked in. So I think that's what it is, which really depresses me because I could drink that sauce out of a glass. So good. What are you going to do? Man, what are you going to do?
All right, well, listen, you come over and help feed the horses and clean some pens, and I'll take you to Luigi.
I can assure you, Michael, that will never happen.
Did you hear that? Yes, Ralph's coming over tomorrow.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
I can't stand horses, Michael. I'm sorry. I have this fear. I dated a girl, Emily, who had horses, and I would have to go with her to feed them. And she would go into their stalls.
I'm about to do that right now.
Scare the crap out of me. And she'd walk behind them, and I'd be like, "You're going to get kicked." And I told you, my first riding on a horse, the damn nag turned around and bit me on the knee and then took off, where somebody had to come and grab the reins for me. I was about 12 years old. And I swear I think it was here. I always forget to ask my mom, but we went to some what do they call them?
Like a dude ranch?
Yes, exactly. Went to a dude ranch. And I swear I think it was here. I swear to God, I think it was here. And I've never...
I mean, there's some places you can go to do like group rides and stuff, but I don't know about it. I've never heard of a dude ranch here. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, this would have been 62. I was born, so this would have been 74, 75, maybe.
Yeah. Definitely wasn't the Hart Ranch.
No, it wasn't the Hart Ranch. But I'm on this thing, and he turns around and bites me right on the knee. With big old choppers.
Well, our dogs out here, Ava bit me twice.
Yeah?
Once in my side and once in the middle of my back.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
Knocked me to I went down to one knee. It was, on both of them.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, the first one, what is that? Shame on her. And then the second one was shame on me for turning my back. It was like, she's great. She's never, but I remember the one time that she bit me in the side the first time. Lloyd's like, "What did you do?" And I'm like, "I didn't do anything."
What did you do?
Down. Yeah, I leaned down and I was like trying to move her front foot, but I had my back to her face.
Yeah.
You know, always whenever you go down, you're supposed to stay facing her head and her neck.
Right.
You know, just so if they start to lean around, you can just be, hey, knock it off.
Yeah.
And I for whatever reason, I turned around and I was unwrapping one of her front legs. You wrap them when you go out and like ride and practice and stuff, and just to protect them. So I was unwrapping her, and for whatever reason, I turned around and she came down and clamped down on my side. Ralph, I had a bruise there for like 6 months, 6 or 7 months, and I turned around with everything I could, and I gave her a smack right on the muzzle.
You're a better.
We had a friend over. Our friend would be like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "This is a 1,300-pound animal.
Yeah.
It's like me flicking me flicking your nose."
Yeah. Oh, you're a better man than I, because I would have been. You know what I would have been like?
Never again.
Boo Factory. Let's go. Ship them out. Let's go. Elmer's Blue. That's right. That's right. That's right. You know what we need to do? Because I am a big horse fan. We need to take a Saturday, drive down to Arcadia, and hit Santa Anita. I love that place. Love that place. Love, love, love. I preferred Hollywood Park because it was 10 minutes from where I lived at the time when I was living in Inglewood. Hollywood Park was beautiful. Had the little lake in the middle. Loved it. Loved it.
Mr. Bailey, what would you like to wager? Give me 100 on Glue Factory in the fifth.
No. I'm a short end guy. I go for nothing lower than 8 to 1, and I put 20, 10, 15 bucks like that.
There you go.
I did, and I like exactas. I got to go long shots. I once won, literally the week before I started working for the Sentinel. This is a true story. The week before I started working for the Sentinel, I won $761.50 on an exacta. I pitted a 10 to 1 to a 15 to 1, and the 10 to 1 won. The 15 to 1 was second. I won $760. Bought my first pair of work shoes, my Bostonians, with that money. Never forget that.
Awesome. Hey, listen, the reason I'm calling is that I noticed that you like to get down on it.
Get down on it?
Because you were singing along. You know where I'm going with this, don't you?
Say what's what? I have no idea where you're going with this.
Media Music Jam, baby. It's back. You know that.
Can't do it.
November 7th.
Can't do it.
It's not at the Crystal Palace. It's on the World Record stage.
There'll still be people.
You can handle that venue.
Will there be people in the audience?
You won't even see them.
No, I can't.
You won't even see them?
Can't do it.
I'll be up there with you. Get down on it. There you go. And I'll let you do the lead, and I'll do the backups.
Can't do it. Can't do it.
Dude, you're 64. Come on, man. What if I could get Shaka Khan in the audience?
Shaka? Shaka Khan?
Shaka Khan.
Who's all participating from your station?
I think it's just me.
Have you guys figured just you?
Well, I mean, Veronica Morley is pregnant.
Is she really?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be too good. She'll be in her third trimester having her climb up there.
I didn't know that. Congratulations. Tell her congratulations.
I most certainly will.
I didn't know.
Yep.
Well,
She's a married gal and has herself a bun in the oven.
Yeah, I didn't even know she was married. Is she from here?
Yeah. Born and raised.
I didn't even know she was married.
She couldn't wait around for you her whole life. You know, she was pressing 30, and she just said, you know, enough of this. I thought Ralph liked young girls. So.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. All right, sir. I got to get out of here. Got to go home.
Yeah. All right, very good. And if I happen to get done early, I'm going to call you.
All right, let me know.
Barely, Bob.
All right. Mike Hart, everybody. Final break of the day. Final break of the week. You can hear the best of the Ralph Bailey Show tomorrow. Or if there's any portion of this broadcast you want to re-examine, let's go to YouTube later tonight. We had Elaine Salon on along with Debbie Anton talking about the Greek Festival. You can watch that along with our good friend Rick Bentley and all the other shenanigans, us talking about lesbians and Kirsten Watson. And I hope I didn't besmirch her. I don't think there's anything wrong with being a lesbian. Like I said, I've been a practicing lesbian for 40 years. Nothing wrong with that. Scott Jennings at the top of the hour. On Monday, Dr. Jeet Singh will join us. And, of course, all that goes on over the weekend. But in the meantime, you are listening to The Ralph Bailey Show on Newstalk 96.1 AM 1230, where we stream live at KernRadio.com.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230.
Whenever you're ready.
Huh? Oh, I didn't play that. Oh, we'll do that here. Play it here. Three, two. So the man who would be governor is going to prison. Eric Swalwell was intercepted at the San Francisco International Airport by the feds, and now he's got three different women. One, Lolona Davis, who is insisting that he raped her and choked her. The would-be governor is going to prison. 3, 2, it's that man again. Look what's coming up on the Monday TRBS. Dr. Jeet Singh will join us at 3:30 from Centric Health. And of course, we'll talk about all what went on over the weekend right here on the Ralph Bailey Show on Newstalk 96.1 and AM 1230. I'll see you Monday.
A foot in a blender. Pain is different for everyone. But where pain starts, Journavx suzetrigine begins. Journavx is a non-opioid 50 milligram prescription tablet for adults with moderate to severe acute pain that reduces pain signals before they reach the brain. Before those signals tell the brain to feel like I punched an angry beehive. And pain reduction can finally begin. Do not take Journavx with CYP3A inhibitors. Avoid use with grapefruit or liver problems, as these may increase side effects. Tell your doctor about all your medicines if you are pregnant or breastfeeding. Journavx may make certain medicines and birth control less effective. Side effects include itching, muscle spasms, rash, and elevated muscle enzymes. To learn more about Journavx, ask your doctor. Call 1-833-589-PAIN or visit journavx.com.
Looking to refresh your home or business with a clean, professional new look? Trust the experienced team at Howling Painting. Family owned and operated in Kern County since 1978, Howling Painting has built a reputation for quality workmanship, dependable service, and attention to detail. From residential to commercial projects, interior or exterior painting, their team is committed to delivering beautiful results at competitive prices. Named Best of Bakersfield's Best Painting Company in both 2025 and 2026, Howling Painting takes pride in making sure every customer is completely satisfied before the job is done. And with a fully licensed and insured team, you can feel confident knowing your property is in trusted hands. Call Howling Painting today at 872-0988, at 872-0988, or visit howlingpainting.com to schedule your free, no obligation consultation. Howling Painting, quality you can see, service you can trust.
Hey folks, Scott Cox here, host of the First Look with Scott Cox radio program. You are listening to the Ralph Bailey Show right here on Newstalk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
My favorite bar. Favorite bar right here.
Hey, Jumbo, Jumbo. Oh, Jumbo, Hey, Jumbo, Jumbo. Oh, yeah. We're gonna have a party. Oh, my mom. I got to sneak this audio in here real quick just to put a punctuation mark on the Eric Swalwell's going to prison because he's going to prison. Here is Lana Drews. She is one of the 3 women that says that Eric Swalwell ain't right.
He raped me, and he choked me. And while he was choking me, I lost consciousness. And I thought I died.
Democratic Party started this. Believe the women. Did they not? During the whole Me Too movement? Here is Misty Maris, who explains if the feds stop you at an airport, take your phone and your laptop, then the very next day go invade your home, which is exactly what they did with Swalwell, that's not a good sign.
In order for federal investigators to be involved, there would have to be some type of federal crime that's implicated. So this is a significant escalation of this case.
He going to prison, in other words. She's got to say it formally. She's on national television. She's a lawyer. When the feds get he going to prison. He going to prison. As well he should. Hell, he should be extradited for sleeping with a Chinese spy. Thank that. And again, the hypocrisy of the Democrats who supported him and said there's no way he slept with a Chinese spy. And now we find out that this guy, where there's smoke, there's fire. Let's be honest. If you're good for the crime, you probably committed it. You know what I'm saying? You can't judge a book by its cover. I know. And everybody's presumed innocent. I know. But that's not real. It really isn't. Because how many times have we gone through this where there's an investigation, Bob Menendez, and they deny it vehemently, George Santos. And lo and behold, when it all comes out, they're lying through their teeth. It's just, that's why we have the apathy. Nobody believes in government anymore. Nobody believes that these people are doing this for public service, for altruistic reasons, to better their community. No. They're doing it to line their pockets, particularly now in the 21st century, where if you get elected to Congress and you can hang around 2, 3, 4 terms, 6, 8 years for a Congress member, you go home a millionaire. And if you're a senator, all you need to do is get reelected. That gives you 12 years in D.C. You're going home a millionaire. And God forbid you get to the White House. The Obamas were broke. B-R-O-K-E. And now they've got 5 homes. One in Martha's Vineyard, one in Spain. Bada-bop, bada-bip, bada-boop. Telling you, should have gone into politics. But now I've got to go home. Want to thank Rick Bentley and Elaine Salon for joining us, along with Debbie Antone. The Greek Food Festival fundraiser comes up on September the 12th. Don't forget they're bringing back Basil, the comedian. And this is at the St. George Greek Orthodox Church at the Hellenic Center, September the 12th. It is an outstanding event with all kind of incredible food. Coming up on Monday, all I know is Dr. Jeet Singh will join us at 3:30, and it'll be a busy, busy weekend, so I'll have tons of stuff to talk about. But you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Dodgers Pirates tonight at 7:10. The Dodgers are back home. Yoshinobu Yamamoto taking the bump for the boys in blue. And I have no idea. I guess the FedEx Cup is coming up this weekend. That should be fairly interesting. But I'm getting the Sam Hill out of here. For Chris Burdick, I'm Ralph Bailey. Have a great weekend. Wrap to you on Monday, but that's what's really going on. I'll wrap to you Monday.
Kern Radio, AM 1230, KERN. 96.1 FM, K241CI, Bakersfield. An American General Media station.
News this hour from Town Hall.